Well, 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 well. Hello, everybody. How are we doing today? Alright, so good to see all of you. Okay, what's up, Hisnitch? How are you? Theo the Cat Guy, hello, hello. Good to see you, my friend. Gray, welcome back. Gotta ask, what tea we drinking today? I've got my lovely, and you can call me whatever you want for it, but it's a pumpkin spice chai tea today. Lovely, warming, soothing, comfy. That's how I like the tea. Who else we got hanging out today? Is Epic. Welcome back. Haven't seen you in a while. Show up once every 3 months. All right, nice to have you here. I'll see you again in 3 months' time. Appreciate you being here, my friend. We've got Ty hanging out. Ty, yep, once again jumped in on the incorrect user. Switched immediately. Good job. I'm glad that we've set the tradition now for what it needs to be. Spider Macho, hello, how are you, Spider? Acor, good to see you here. Haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, it's been a while since you've managed to catch the start of one of the streams. Usually jump in halfway, grab a few clips of me saying something stupid and then bugger off again. You know what, that's fine. Amra, hello, I'm doing well. And Brenton, hello, good to see you again. Brenton, you were in the last stream, right? For Curse Crackers, yeah? Honestly, great to see you here and hanging out. I appreciate it. You met people for once, Acor. Good to know, good to know. Is Epic. If Graeldon didn't name himself Larry, if he got the chance, he's fired. I think also asked, yeah, is Larry still a subplot here? Yes, it is. There just haven't been any good games recently to have Larry actually be, you know, an appropriate character. But that's about to change. The game that I played this week, which you'll see in like 3 weeks' time, that one's going to have Larry in it. Might actually have more than one Larry in it, but it will have Larry in it. But it's because all the other ones I've been playing so far have either had named characters or they've been like first person, so it's been a bit weird to call the player character Larry. But don't worry, they're coming back. Larry can never die. Larry was always going to be a core piece of the channel. Alright. But yes, no, it has been a great week so far. I am keen to dive in and play some games and get back into the story of Komorebi. It's been a while since we dived into that one. So, for those that aren't aware, the plan is that we're going to play Komorebi today. Not sure if we're going to finish it or not, but we're going to make a damn good effort to try and do it. And once we finish Komorebi, we're going to be going back to Curse Crackers to finish that one off. Unqualified for YouTube, you just lit your house on fire. Help! Step 1, get off the live stream and maybe find someone qualified to deal with the fire. I mean, unless you want to just, you know, jump in and hijack this live stream and tell us about, like, you know, give us some live updates on how your house fire is going. That's certainly a unique one. I'm assuming that is a joke. If it is not a joke, please actually dial for help. But I'm assuming it's a joke. Oh god, the screaming. Well, I mean, that would be incredibly disconcerting if you were living at home by yourself. Imagine that. Like, oh no, I knocked over a candle, the house is on fire, and all of a sudden you start hearing screaming? Like, but I live alone. Where's that coming from? Who's been living in my basement? There's a nice plot for a horror game. I mean, having a house on fire is horrific enough, I guess. Theo, we're about to witness something very gay. Gay people. Yeah, I mean, this is a game. Yeah, it's probably the best description. People living in the walls, absolutely. But yeah, this has been a good week so far. Work's been busy, but good. We actually got off to a great start with things this week. Like, we got the last video out a little bit later than intended. We released that one on Tuesday morning. It's done reasonably well. Could be better, but it's done quite well. However, the biggest thing that I'm happy about is that the 001 Earth videos started getting quite a bit more traction, which was kind of amazing. It's now gone up to just over 30,000 views, and it was sitting at close to like 10,000 before. So in the space of a week, it's gotten about 20,000 views, which is just crazy. So it's always nice to see a video start taking off like that a little bit. Subscriber count continuing to rise, can't complain about that. We're approaching 32,000 now, so that's going to be nice, another little milestone to roll over. Unqualified to where's 999? 999 is not the emergency one. It should be 991 or 111 or 000, depending on where in the world you are. Actually, is 999 an emergency number somewhere in the world? Probably is. I don't actually know. Yeah, other than that, we've got next video coming be for 0xFF, a lovely little first-person puzzle exploration game. I say lovely in a very sarcastic way. You'll see what that's about soon. Following that, I've already actually played through, finished, written the script, done the voiceover. Everything is ready to go to get started for 0 degrees north, 0 degrees west, which is probably the closest to an acid trip that I've ever experienced, at least in terms of how it's been described. So I'm really excited to share that one with everyone. And then the one which I just finished this week is 1-Bit Survivor. So we're actually into the first #1 game. Finished with the zeros and on to the next one already. So progress has come along quite nicely, so I can't complain at all about things. All I need now is to figure out what the hell I'm doing with my beard, because it's kind of just there at the moment, and I still don't know if I love it or not. Keep the beard, remove the beard, don't know. Got to figure it out. Anyway, rambling aside, I think it's time that we get started with some actual games, shall we? Alright, let's bring this back. Let's make sure the stream's actually going to do what it's supposed to do. Nope, not that one. We're not finished. And I think I'm going to put myself in the top left this time, because I think last time I was accidentally covering some of the text. Might make a little bit more sense to have me up in the top left there somewhere. Okay. Yeah, looks like the screen capture is not doing what it's supposed to do, so that's fun. Let's just switch this. Capture that window, please. There we go. Let's just make sure that's coming through on the stream. Yes, alright, we should be in business. And I'll just bump the sound up a little, because I remember last time the voiceover was a little on the quiet side for you guys, but that should be better. Okay, the tree just caught fire. It's spreading. Well, I mean, at least the fire is outside of the house now, I guess. That's an improvement, right? If it was only inside the house, well, that's a problem. But if the fire's now outside the house, that's less of a problem. Alright, so, welcome back to Komorebi, a dystopian visual novel set in a world where everyone's a furry. Let's get that out of the way first. But also, everything is ruled over by a tech corporation that have basically put in place a social credit system where if you follow the rules, you're a good citizen, have some points. If you don't follow the rules, bad things happen. We're kind of just like moved into a new city. There's also another interesting subplot going on of a phenomenon called Komorebi, which is basically affecting the majority of the population of the world, in which people experience visions of their future on repeat. So basically, imagine if once per week you had a dream that told you everything that was going to happen in your future, and there was nothing you could do to change it, because if you tried to change it, well, that's the future that you're already seeing. So yeah, pretty much everyone's experiencing them, except for a handful of people, and our player character is one of them, who doesn't experience Komorebi. They don't know what their future holds. As a result of this, mental health is a bit of a problem for people, because weirdly enough, if you know your future involves a car crash where you die at a certain age, that's kind of depressing. So psychiatrists are booming. And it's basically a social norm now to have a psychiatrist of some kind. So there's some interesting social dynamics and things at play here. So far we've played through basically the first chapter, we've met the first handful of characters, and yeah, we've kind of just been getting to know them. They've decided to do like a welcome party, and last I remember, we were doing some pre-gaming drinks at home before we were about to go out on the town and go to a nightclub or something like that. So I think that's where we're about to pick up. Does anyone have any questions? Brendan, you're basically immortal until then. I mean, yeah, technically, you can't change your future. So imagine if you tried to actually hurt yourself or something like that, then, well, it can't happen because that's not how your future pans out. Something would have to intervene to prevent it. So it's an interesting concept, so I'm very curious to see where they go with this. And I know that at its core, this is meant to be like it's a romance visual novel, like focusing on, yeah, gay romance and those kind of relationships. If we decide to follow those paths, sure, we'll do that. I'm personally here for the sci-fi setting and the story. I find that part quite interesting. Romance visual novels, never really been my thing. But if people are like, hey, let's go talk to this person or let's do that, I will be, we'll go with it. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. Why is your phone broken? Probably because it's on fire, mate. That'll do it. When Graeldon long hair? Probably never. I tried to grow my hair out before. It did not go well. I don't look like a Viking when hair grows out and the beard gets long. I look homeless. Not a great combination. Alright, let's dive in and see what we can do.
Experience culmination fragment. The nightclub outing?
I was right. Perfect. Yeah, it was for the nightclub outing. That was where we were left off last time. Yeah, I play for the plot. Absolutely. You can frame that however you want. I play for the plot. There's a lot of games I play for the plot. Not strong enough for homeless vibes. Wow! If I'm not strong enough for homeless vibes, then what the hell does that make me? Do I want to know? Ah, yes, that's right. The ominous sound effect at the start and end of every chapter. Thank you for choosing Argus. Our future, your way. Ooh, I'm loving the mood setting with the music. That's quite nice. He reads through some papers as I tell him my weekend plans. Wow, voices breaking already. That's a great start to a stream. He wanted to make sure that my... Holy shit, I need to drink something. One sec, guys. That's bad. Let's try that again, shall we? He wanted to make sure that my social life was thriving in this new setting. It was, for now. He seems happy that I have a new group of friends in my life.
Right, of course. The nightclub trip and the, pre-gaming. Well, at least you're being social. Not something I'd recommend making a habit of, though.
How's that volume, guys? Is that loud enough for the voiceover? Got a feeling you might want it just a little higher to balance out with me. Bump up just a touch there. Also, I don't think this gentleman's had a name yet. This is the Psych. Best character so far.
The pre-gaming, I mean, not the socializing.
Definitely, yeah, teeth like that, not a koala. Maybe a drop bear. Maybe a drop bear, but definitely not a koala.
Having a friend group is healthy and can make all the difference. I'm glad that you're able to get along with Isaac's friends, too.
Yep, I'm also glad. Oh, that's right. Isaac is the first character we met. He's got like the blue highlights in his hair. Our character's name is Delta. I remember that. Brendan, you might need to look up who the voice actors are for this game. Because apparently there's some quite prolific VAs in here. I don't know any of them off the top of my head, but yeah, apparently these people have been in a handful of different projects, so yeah. Yeah, Delta is the name of the player character, who's basically a blank slate.
Bringing a new person into a social group can often be complicated. You'll probably notice that you're under a microscope too, at least for a while. But they should seek your approval just as much as you're seeking theirs.
I mean, that's good advice, absolutely. If you're in a social circle and everyone's judging you, but you're not actually judging them to see if they're worthy of being your friends, they're not friends. After getting caught up, he puts the papers off to the side.
Speaking of that, though, have you been seeking more than friends? It's healthy to date and test the waters, you know.
Okay, that's nice that it's actually referencing that. Doesn't give me any other choices, like deny it or something like that. But yeah, that's nice reference to the fact that last time we did agree that we would give it a try with Isaac. Isaac very much seems the safe choice of this, but then we did beat someone else rather intriguing towards the end of the last episode.
Makes perfect
sense. Hey Sander,
sense.
what's up? How you doing?
You did move here for him after all. And if not for him, then at least to live with him, which is a big gesture. From everything I've been told, it seems like you two get along just fine.
Yep, absolutely. He scribbles notes down on a piece of paper that rests beside him. I'm tempted to ask him what he's writing down, but I know it's nothing bad. Yeah, Is Epic, don't worry, like, I'm not furry either, but this was recommended content. We're gonna give it a go. Open mind is all that's required. At the end of the day, we can enjoy it just for other subplots, for the narrative, for the story. You don't have to be here for the gay furry aspect. If you are here for that, wonderful, you're gonna have a great time, you have something to enjoy. But you don't have to be here for that. But it also doesn't mean that just because it features, you know, gay things or furry things, that you can't also enjoy it. Audio is a little bit low. Cool, I'll bump that up a little bit. When you say my audio, the game audio, or I don't think you mean me. I'm presuming you mean the actual game audio. We'll jump that up just a little bit more. Alright. But yeah, each to their own. Enjoy what you enjoy. That's the most important thing. And have an open mind more than anything else. Voice is lower compared to the game. Okay, I'll bump myself back up a little bit. Thank you, appreciate that. Let's go there. That should be a little bit more balanced now. Okay. I'm tempted to ask him what he's writing down, but I know it's nothing bad. In fact, I'm pretty sure that I'll be cleared as a patient within a month or so.
Have your friends told you anything about their Komorebi?
No, they haven't actually. I have no idea what their future holds.
I mean, do you know
Well,
if any of them are like you? Bonding over a shared trait can always help.
We do know they shared very briefly that in their futures, they don't see the same group of friends together at the end. So that is a little tidbit that we've got. We know we're forming friendships now. We know we're going to be together for a while, but in their futures, they don't see the same group of friends together. So we know something is going to happen. I let him know that I'm definitely the odd one out. They didn't reveal their visions, but I know that they had them. For the time being, I was definitely alone with this struggle.
I guess the odds were incredibly slim. But as far as I'm concerned, it was worth a shot. If you're interested, I could hook you up with some support groups.
Not necessarily a bad idea. More tailored support group. Also, hopefully the volume balance is a little better now. Let him know that I'm not interested in that. Oh, wow. Okay, just go straight against what I was thinking. Cool. Thanks, game. Don't even give me a choice. Like I've said many times before, my lack of a vision doesn't affect me.
Oh, that's exactly why I'd recommend you go to a support group.
Good psych.
I think others could benefit from hearing how you think and feel. Whether you know it or not, you're a pretty remarkable case.
Exactly. Going and visiting a support group isn't necessarily about you getting support, but it's you being able to also share your insight and your experience with others. It's not about just getting, it's about giving. The title drop count in this game would end on a pretty high number in the triple digits. Yeah, I would not be surprised if that's where it gets to. I shrug and ask him if that means he's close to clearing me as a patient.
One step at a time, Delta. I can't make a big decision like that unless I'm certain. Thankfully, your honesty and cooperation are helping.
Damn straight. I can't help but direct my attention to some colourful papers by his side. They look like pamphlets, so I decide to ask him what they are. My best guess is that he already had some support groups in mind.
Oh, these? A Zero handed them to me on my way to work.
And a reminder, Zero is someone who does not conform to the system. So that's basically their social score. Big fat Zero. Ah yes, the illusion of choice. Fits considering this is a 1984 game. Yeah, absolutely. I like the tie-ins that they've done to that. Brendan, the voice actor here is John Malone, but you haven't found more roles from him in notable media yet. Yeah, again, I'm not sure if it just applies to like the main characters, like the main cast in this one. Technically, the Psyche is a side character, but apparently he's a fan favorite.
I guess part of their protesting involves spreading around propaganda. This first one claims that Argus is responsible for Komorebi.
Again, reminder, Argus is basically like what happens if Apple takes over the world, and also invests a lot of money into security measures and trying to make the world safe. They're the ones who have instilled this social credit system upon society. Yeah. He picks up the pamphlet and opens it.
It says that they engineered it somehow. Then they swooped in to play the savior and control society. Those who don't experience visions are just strong enough to resist.
Ah, I see. So my ability to not have a vision is actually a superpower. Love it. Also, I love how my brain remembers lore from this game from like 2 weeks ago, and yet, for some reason, my brain struggles with things like history. If I'd had a history lesson that I sat through 2 weeks ago, I would probably be able to tell you almost nothing from that. But when you're like, oh yes, tell me about this like obscure concept or lore from a game from several weeks ago, yeah, no, I can do that just fine. Don't know why my brain works that way, it just does. If history had more furry daddies, maybe you remember. Oh god. Oh, that's, look, you might be onto something there, Sander. But somehow I feel like things like retelling World War I and World War II with furries as the major political figures might not go down too well. It would be memorable, but you'd probably get a lot of backlash. Have I got ADHD? Not that I've ever had, like, as far as I know, I do not have ADHD. I've never had anyone before suggest that I might have it, but I've never actually officially looked into it. So, I can't conclusively say no, because I've never tried to get an official diagnosis or anything, but I don't believe I have ADHD. Graeldon, with that beard, you look like a Wojak. That makes me uncomfortable. That's probably, yeah, that's probably the harshest burn I think I've ever had. You look like a Wojak. I mean, well done, creative, but ouch, that's rough. All right, LM's getting kicked from the Discord. Sorry. Anyway, we're going to carry on. We're actually trying to get through as much story here as we can. With a laugh, he places it back down and grabs the other. Don't worry, I've got a thick enough skin. That won't get to me.
Now, this one was actually more interesting. It says that the existence of Komorebi disproves free will. That's clearly not true. I wonder if they actually believe this nonsense.
It looked like I'd been in one of the older Ghostbusters movie. You know what? I'll take that, because the older Ghostbuster movies were the best Ghostbuster movies. So, cool. Thank you. Appreciate it. He flips through the second pamphlet.
Unfortunately, we've seen people take their own lives due to Komorebi.
That's pretty brutal.
This very act proves that, to some degree, we can still control fate. The leading theory is that these visions are more like warnings.
Okay, so I was incorrect. The Komorebi can be deviated from. Interesting. So it gives more of a general guide of where things are going to end up should you continue on your path. Doesn't mean it can't be averted. Interesting.
You know, a kind of heads up of what could be. Some people even believe that they're glimpses into alternate worlds. Of course, I didn't bring you here to talk about metaphysical nonsense.
I think they mentioned when we were playing last time that it was actually like the heads of the Argus Corporation were some of the first to experience Komorebi, and it gave them glimpses of the future that allowed them to start accelerating the creation of the various technologies that they take for granted now. So I think it gives me a feeling similar to like in Mass Effect, where they discover ancient but advanced technology and then start incorporating into their society. Somehow here they've been given visions of the future in which they've been able to see the technology and obviously learn enough about it that then they can actually bring it forward to their time, which I think is a really interesting dynamic to do with like visions, the future, time travel of information. It's a really interesting way to look at it from a sci-fi lens. Are these the shadows of things that will be, or the shadows of things that may be only? Interesting way to look at it, Sander. Wendy, hello! How you doing? Hopping in to say good morning, then back to work. Yeah, I appreciate you stopping by, Wendy. Hope work goes well for you today. You're mentioning Ghostbusters a minute ago reminded you that your mum met Bill Murray at the airport the other day. Not even like years ago, just, you know, a couple of weeks back, ran into Bill Murray at the airport. I love like chance encounters like that. That's fantastic. I hope they stopped, got a chat. Hopefully your mum recognized it was Bill Murray in the moment and didn't like, you know, get all the way home and then kick herself being like, oh, that's who it was. Should have said hi. I'm intrigued by this conversation, so I decide to turn the tables. I ask him where he stands on the subject, what he believes.
Well, I believe that we'll never know the truth of Komorebi.
Name drop.
But many visions have come to pass, while many haven't. And as I said before, some people don't live to find out. If I had to commit to an idea, I'd say I agree with the leading theory. They're just possible outcomes. Nothing set in stone or predestined. Argus isn't responsible, and we still have free will at the end of the day.
I'm glad that's what you believe, but I don't believe you on that one, mate. It wasn't on Groundhog Day. She sat next to him on the plane. Oh, that is amazing. But also, that means one of two things. Either Bill Murray was flying like economy with everyone else and it was just good luck that your mum had that encounter, or your family is very well off and your mum's flying like business class or first class or something and just happened to be there next to Bill Murray in that way. Like, it's gotta be one of those two outcomes.
Of course, that's just wishful thinking. We'll never really know.
Well, I'm sure there's a way to find out.
Some visions could just be tricks to send people down a certain path. I think it's more important to handle things on an individual basis. For example, what does your vision, or lack of vision, mean to you? It's best to lead with that rather than seek out a universal truth. Like I always say, truth can just be a gateway to more fright.
Ah, so you're telling me to avoid the truth. He puts the second pamphlet down.
I hope people don't start believing these silly stories.
People will believe whatever gives them hope.
If those zeros are really here to cause trouble, I'd avoid them. No sense getting caught up in something like this, you know?
I nod and choose not to mention the zero that I ran into. Besides, something told me our session was quickly running out of time. We continued to talk, but all I can think about is the upcoming festivities. Every time. I'm like, oh god, what's happening? Theo, your mum had dinner with the Secretary of the Interior a while ago. She's kind of a big deal. Not gonna name drop her. Don't. Yeah, I mean, absolutely no need to name drop, but yeah, okay. That means my second guess was probably correct on there. That's awesome, though. I'm happy for your mum. I hope she knew who he was and she was thrilled to meet him, because that's just great. Yeah, it's not quite the Among Us sound effect, but it gives me the same vibe. You're right. We make our way down to the city streets as the booze starts to wear off. It was a long walk to the nightclub, but we didn't feel like driving or using public transit. Because of that, we wobble slightly as we head towards our destination, Club Euphoria.
I'm surprised your friend didn't help us out with transportation.
He got legs. You'll be fine.
What do you mean? Gives us an open bar, but he didn't send us a limo? Rude.
Now here's the thing, if you ask me to remember what this guy on the right's name is, I don't remember. I'm sure he'll get name dropped later. On the left, that's Isaac. Guy on the right, I want to say it was like Claude or something like that. Taylor. Yes, Taylor, you're right. Don't know where I got Claude from. It's Taylor.
Oh, don't get greedy.
sweetie. It was a nice gesture. He just wants to get things off to a good start.
We've got one more friend hanging around somewhere. Yeah, this game would benefit from having a nameplate on each of the text boxes just to remind the player. Every time a game has got simulator in its name, you immediately assume it's bad for some reason. There are some good simulator games out there. Not many, but there are some.
My legs are killing me, so we're off to a great start. Remind me to give him an earful when we get there.
Speaking of which, I still need to yell at Dante.
There we go. Dante is the third member of the group. All four of us, actually not all four of us, three of us live in the same house. Taylor is a fairly popular live streamer. Lives elsewhere.
What did I do now?
There's Dante.
I heard that noise when you connected to our speakers, dude. Was I not clear enough the other day? Don't mess with my mods.
I haven't. Well, not since then. It's just been a while since anyone connected like that. Trust me, Isaac, I made those changes months ago.
Is that supposed to get you off the hook?
I'm just being honest, man.
I guess we'll see.
I always do love this like back and forth dynamic. It sounds fairly natural between the two characters. Dante scoffs and looks the other way.
You know, I might not drink as much as I thought tonight.
What? Why's that?
It's these new painkillers.
Wait, you're in pain?
Oh.
Yeah, because you won't get off my back.
Nice. These guys cybernetically enhanced. Don't know yet. There's a lot of technology around, but most of it seems to be in the form of like handheld or physical devices. We've not been told about anything enhancing or changing their physical bodies yet. Not in a cyberpunk style. Yeah, it's more about modding their houses or belongings, not their bodies. Not that we've seen yet anyway.
Is it too much to ask for just one night of fun? You're the one who wanted that, yet you're tearing into me.
An awkward silence fills the air as they stare at one another. Get a room, you two. But just like usual, they erupt into laughter only a few moments later.
Fine. I'll try and ease up on you a little bit. If we want to be friends forever, I might just have to.
All of a sudden, I start to think about the conversation we had earlier. In their visions, they were no longer in touch, no longer a friend group.
You really think we can pull that off?
While you're talking about body mods, I would be curious to know, like, if you had the opportunity to replace any one part of your body with a cybernetic replacement, assuming that it was like top-of-the-line technology, could function as well as a regular human part, plus have extra features, what would you replace and why? For me personally, I would replace my eyes. Just you're having to deal with glasses every single day? Kind of sucks. Yes, you can go and get laser surgery and whatnot, but effectiveness changes from person to person. But also, if I replace them, well, then I don't have to worry about anything else in the future. I can see in the dark. I could give myself like thermal vision, X-ray vision. I could make them automatically change to sunglasses, Deus Ex style. Like, yeah, I'd probably replace the eyes. Brenton, you have a hard enough time caring for your meat body. Can only imagine how much upkeep you need to do with those things. We're assuming it wouldn't require much in the way of upkeep, because we're assuming this is like super advanced technology, nothing similar to what we have today. It'd be something that would work perfectly, need very little maintenance, and could do whatever additional functions you want it to do. You wouldn't either, because there's a chance that they could get hacked, or part would be like end of service, yeah. And that's always a risk, but we're assuming you can get them replaced eventually, and that you've got enough money to make that possible. Probably your lungs. Ouch. That's pretty rough. Sander, your vision is augmented. Yeah, that's kind of what I want. You avoid shipping yourself if you had the choice. Don't want to get hacked and have to see Rick Astley for the rest of your life. But think about it this way. You could also install an anti-Rick Astley blocker, like a Rick Astley blocker into your life. So anytime that there's a link which would take you to a Rickroll video, it highlights it immediately so you know not to click it. His niche, I do agree with you as well. Like, you trust technology as much as you trust the people running it. You don't. I get that. Trust what you can control is probably the most important thing. Which then begs the question, if you had access to the resources and the materials, and you could create your own cybernetic enhancements, does that change your answer? If you're fully in control of the technology because it's your creation, does that change your willingness to use it? Some food for thought. Isn't it just no? Why? Doesn't even have to be a cybernetic enhancement. It could be a coffee machine that you've built. You trust it more or less because you made it? An anti-Rickroll chip is technology Elon Musk should invest in. Yeah, I agree. Risk too high. Does it become even less trustworthy because you created it and you know what you're capable of? Is that what's going on here? Because I'd kind of be in that boat. I know what I am capable of and not particularly competent when it comes to creating technology and devices. Anyway, that's a tangent. Let's get back to the story here, shall we?
I guess it's worth a shot.
Isaac stops in his tracks and turns to face all of us.
Then we should make a pact.
Oh yeah, perfect. It's boys' night out, going out for drinks, gonna get drunk. We're gonna make a pact. That feels like, oh, what was it called? That's gonna bug me now. Oh, movie where a bunch of guys go out, get absolutely drunk and like a stag do just before a wedding. Oh, what was that called? Someone tell me. God, it's a terrible description of the movie. But hopefully someone knows what I'm talking about. Oh, I'm going to have to look this up now. That's going to bug me. It's got a really obvious name and I should know it. I want to say it came out about like 10, 15 years ago. Yes, The Hangover. That's the one, Sander. Nailed it. That is absolutely the one. Honestly, it's been a long, long time since I saw that movie. I think I enjoyed it. But yeah, talking about making a pact before going out for drinks and things. That's a flashback.
Like with blood?
I mean, it doesn't have to be blood.
No.
Ah, shame. Always wanted to do one of those.
That's a weird aspiration to have, but alright, sure, each to their own.
I'd rather not have your blood on my hands, Taylor.
Quite literally.
Oh, but I thought we were finally bonding.
Come on, can you please take this seriously for a second? I just want to make sure that we don't all drift apart.
And how do you suggest we do that?
The group chat, probably. Let's promise to keep using it no matter where we are, even if it's just 1 or 2 messages a week. No pressure, right? Then we really can be friends forever. Right now, you're all important to me. I think about you all the time. But in my vision, like I said, I'm not even aware of your existence.
God freaking damn it. Thank you. Microphone muted. Go me. This might be a me thing, but I've never... This idea about, you know, let's make sure that we're friends forever has always been interesting to me, because I've never had friendships that have lasted more than like 5 or 10 years. It's just been the way of things, whether it's been because I've moved or, you know, it's been like a change point in my life where I've gone from high school to university or from university to starting a real job and career. I've never had friendships that have lasted. So to me, the idea of a friendship that lasts forever is a bit strange. But then again, maybe for the age that these guys are at the moment, I'm assuming they're like late tweens, yeah, probably early 20s, given that they are out and about working and stuff at the moment. Maybe that feels more realistic to them, and it's just, you know, more appropriate for that social setting at the time. But yeah, it's never been a thing that really resonated with me. For me, the whole thing with friends is that they don't have to be forever. It's more about having the right people around at the right time in your life. It's fine for friendship groups to change. I don't think I'd want to necessarily be friends with anyone from my high school life. That were friends of convenience at the time because I didn't have a wider social circle to draw from. I don't know if other people feel like that or it's just me, but yeah. If that's what you want, to have friends which are there consistently, good for you. But the problem is people change.
Oh, tragic. Everybody should know who I am. But on a more serious note, I guess I can manage that.
Yeah, I don't plan on leaving the group, so I'm down.
Yeah, these guys seem pretty chill with it.
Then let's make it official.
He puts out his hand, palm facing down. One by one, we stack our hands on top of his. Go team! I wait until the end, since I'm the newest one here.
Friends, until the end.
Don't even get a choice. I can't be like, nah, not for me. Until the end. We all say that in unison, and look at each other with big smiles. A moment later, we pull back our hands and continue on our way. I had no problem with the agreement since it seemed pretty low maintenance. It's a little odd, but this pact suddenly made my life feel more grounded. If we really followed through, I'd always have friends to support me. See, I get it from that angle. That made this scary new city seem all the more inviting. By the time the night was over, this place would be home. That's sweet. I decided to bring up something that my counselor told me at our session. There's a theory that Komorebi isn't set in stone, it's just a possibility. A pact like this could very well defy what they believe to be fate.
Ah, yes, the parallel universe thing. If that's true, then I'm screwed no matter what. If you're my best friends, then this is clearly the darkest timeline.
Nice, that's a good line.
Rude? Hey, don't worry. I thrive in the dark.
We're back to the creepy face. I noticed that Dante looks a little worried.
Hey, you know your counselor isn't supposed to do that, right? He's supposed to stick to facts and Argus-approved exercises. I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's off curriculum, so to speak.
And that's how you know it's good content.
Yeah, and that could only come from someone who's never had a vision.
Mm-hmm.
People like us who live with Komorebi kind of find that laughable. It's something you can't understand, not unless you've lived it.
I asked him for some clarification as I'm a little confused.
Well, I didn't have a speech prepared or anything, but it'd be like hosting a lecture on something you know nothing about. And not only that, but your students are already experts on the subject.
Yeah. Hammer and Spider, how did you guys get out of sync with the name drops? Something's happened. You're gonna have to go back and re-watch and like skim through and do a quick count. Yeah, somewhere you've gotten out of sync. Because you both started on the same count at the start of today's stream, and now we're out by one. Don't know what happened there. You don't know why we do that? It's just for fun. Because they keep dropping Komorebi all the time. That would be both difficult and embarrassing.
Just think about it this way. It's inescapable even if you escape it. We could defy our vision, sure, but we still have to experience it. Every day, we face the future as if it were the present. It's indistinguishable from reality, and it's awful. So even if we are friends forever, I'll still lose you all the time. Who cares if it's another world or universe? Feelings are all real.
Yeah, that's true. I get that. Spider, you make a good point, but it also makes me wonder, like, if you wanted to both be counting, we should have had you counting different things. Maybe one person counting, like, the Komorebi name drops, one person counting how many moments we get to flirt, or how many choices we actually get to make over the course of the game.
Wow.
How many times Graeldon goes
nailed
on
it.
a tangent. I guess I never thought of it that way before. Even if we learn the origin of these visions, they'll still happen every day. They'd exist alongside the truth and probably even overpower it.
Though I have to say, we should probably change the subject. This whole thing seems like a recipe for depression. Let's not sabotage our night out, huh?
I mean, let's face it, everything in your society is a recipe for depression, but okay, sure, we'll overlook that.
True. And honestly, thanks for your input, Delta. I know that you were only trying to help out.
I nod and tell him that's fine. It's true though, it wasn't my place to speak about Komorebi. Building off that lecture metaphor, I should be sitting and listening.
Whoa! Didn't expect such a big lineup.
We round the next corner and I see the nightclub for the first time. For some reason, it looks exactly how I expected it would. But Isaac was right. The lineup was massive.
I thought you said they canceled the event.
And then they put something else on.
They did. I guess this is just the kind of traffic they get. It is the most popular club in town, after all.
Hopefully it's earned that title. Any chance your friend can help with the line?
I think he did, actually. Let me go talk to the person at the door.
Ooh, okay. Do we get to do a line skip? The way I phrased that makes it sound like it's some kind of speed running mechanic. Ah, yes, and this is the point in the plot where we perform the line skip. This is going to save us 6 seconds later. Isaac motions for us to wait as he approaches the club. We stand around and exchange glances with one another. Dante still looks worried and inches closer toward me.
You know, I was serious about what I said. Your counselor isn't supposed to talk about that kind of stuff. If you reported him, you might be able to get cleared as a patient.
I'm not reporting him, he's a good counselor. I shrug. That seems extremely unfair. And I doubt that reporting him would get me cleared. They'd probably just transfer me over to somebody else. I'm already making progress with him, so I can't do that. Starting all over with another counselor would be super tedious. Dante nods as I speak my thoughts. He seems to understand.
Well, sometimes these things benefit other people. You might be fine, but he's still breaking the rules. That could be harmful. It's not a good thing to fill people's heads with nonsense, especially in therapy.
I'm pretty sure he's only speaking in the way he is because he knows that we both are not experiencing Komorebi. He has a point, but before we can talk any further, Isaac returns.
Good news! We get to skip the line.
Perfect! Our speedrun tactics worked.
Woo! And all of a sudden, your friend is back in the good books.
The mood of the group instantly skyrockets. Waiting in a long line would have honestly killed the flow of our evening. Thankfully, Isaac's friend planned around that fact. Who is Isaac's friend?
Well then, what kind of drink should we order first?
That question lingers as we make our way inside the nightclub. A few people complain that we're able to skip the line. It's kind of flattering. I have no right to feel this way, but it makes me feel important and special. Gray, you went from I haven't sipped my tea to your tea is gone. That was a big sip.
Tequila!
All right, nightclub time. Okay, sure. Dante quickly downs the shot, signaling me and Taylor to do the same. Isaac scurried off to prepare whatever needs to be prepared. As always, he remains tight-lipped until the very end.
I'm so ready to pay for this in the morning.
Yep, I think you will. You probably will.
I guess we're just gluttons for punishment. How about we grab another round and go sit down? At this rate, it could be hours before Isaac comes back.
Sounds good to me. Hey, barkeep! 3 more tequila shots, please. And it should be covered. We're part of Isaac's group.
Not sure who's covering it, but okay. The bartender shrugs and says they have no idea what we're talking about. There are no reservations or holds in place for someone by the name of Isaac. There's some stuff happening on the 2nd floor, but not down here.
The 2nd floor?
Ooh, okay.
The VIP section?
We turn to face each other, a little wide-eyed. Taylor leans in and starts whispering.
That's amazing and all, but who's paying for these? They're already preparing the next round of shots.
Yeah, who's sponsoring this? Who does Isaac know? Turns out it's like the head of Argus Corporation is a party goer or something. Oh dear. Hey, sup Lucifer, how you doing? That is always a weird sentence for me to say. It's like welcoming Lucifer into my stream. I mean, on the flip side, it'd also be pretty weird to be like, hey, God, welcome to the stream. Sup, Jesus? Isaac, you're making mac and cheese while watching this. That sounds like a pretty good plan of attack. Hope it turns out tasty for you. Do you do like the little breadcrumbs over the top to give it a nice like crispy top? a little bit of texture to the mac and cheese, or did you make it let's make it plain, more traditional style? You doing good? How's everyone here? Everyone should be doing fine, but I'll let them speak for themselves. We're having fun here. You haven't missed too much with the story. We're just gotten into the nightclub for the celebration, so we're trying to figure out who the hell's paying for everything.
I'll get it, don't worry. I got a bit of an advance from my publisher. Just don't let them know I wasted it on booze.
I'm sure they're used to hearing that, Dante. What is a writer if not an alcoholic in disguise?
That's how helps you get the good stories.
Maybe save the trash talk until after you're treated. If I just pay for me and Delta, you'll get kicked out.
And suddenly, I was joking. You're the best friend ever, I swear.
Taylor, if you're as good a streamer as you say you are, you should have more than enough money to be able to pay for this.
Sure.
The bartender places 3 shot glasses in front of us. In return, Dante waves his phone in front of a scanner. Transactions completed, we grab the shots.
Hey, follow me. I know exactly where we can sit. And thanks a million, Dante. I really mean it. Someday I'll find a way to repay you.
Maybe his streaming career is not doing too well. I mean, to even just be like, someday I'll find a way to repay you, that's the kind of thing you say for someone who's just done like a life-changing event for you. You know, they've pulled you out of a fire. There's a reference to something earlier in the stream, and literally saved your life. It's like, someday I'll find a way to repay you because what you've done is on a scale that can't be repaid in everyday terms. Dude, he just bought you 2 shots. Pay him back next week when you get your paycheck. Or are you that destitute at the moment? What's going on?
You could stop making fun of my career, for one.
Like I said, someday I'll find a way to repay you.
I would do anything for you, but I won't do that. Hey Graeldon, there's this really cool indie game called Elden Ring that I don't think anyone's heard of. Maybe you would like it. I think I've heard about that game actually. It's from the Soft Company, whatever it's called. I can't remember like the full name. But yeah, I have heard of it. It's been on my radar to pick it up. I've been looking for like a new RPG to play at some point. I'm sure I'll get around to it eventually. It's not that far down the alphabetical order. We'll get there eventually. Micro Software. No, I don't think that's it. They make the Wandos or something, don't they? Something like that. Yeah. It sounded like most streamers, he's not breaking even. Unfortunately, that's very true. I mean, to be fair, if my income was based entirely off my streams, I would not be even coming close to breaking even either. Streaming is a very hard field to actually make any headway and break into, but thankfully, I have no aspiration to actually become a full-time streamer. This is just a side gig. This is just for fun. We follow Taylor as we talk and eventually find an empty table. Making sure not to spill the shots, we place them down as we sit.
Speaking of which, is your channel okay, Taylor?
Spill the tea.
Actually, it's pretty great.
You seem pretty scared about those shots. Like you could...
I don't like spending money if I can avoid it.
Sorry, skip that one a little too soon there.
And there's no point in spending it if someone else will treat me. That's kind of why I agreed to do this nightclub thing from the start.
That makes sense you rely on handouts. Now I know why the donate button takes up your entire page.
That speaks of being desperate.
Bigger is better, as they say.
Speaking of obscure indie games, have you heard of Super Mario? I have heard of it, yeah. Super Mario, that's the one that Nintendo came out where they started with Super Mario Odyssey, I think was the first one on the Switch. Yeah, I mean, I hope they're able to turn that into a bit of a series. It seems like a pretty cool mascot for the company. Very recognizable, that's for sure. And he got his own movie from that as well, so the character must be doing pretty well. Like, I'm happy for Nintendo that they've finally been able to land on a character to use consistently.
But it's not just donations, Dante. I have one of the highest sub counts on the platform.
I mean, let's be real. Until Mario came along, it was really just Pokemon that was holding up the Nintendo company.
Really? I guess I don't watch you too much. I wasn't paying attention when I guessed it either.
Gray, those sound like some absolutely amazing types of tea. Chocolate hazelnut tea, some sugar cookie sleigh ride tea. I don't know what sugar cookie sleigh ride is. It sounds kind of sweet, but I'm guessing that's something you got as a Christmas present that you're still using now. Yeah, if you had one of the highest sub counts on Twitch, you'd be a millionaire, absolutely.
It's true. Your boy is making history.
But apparently not making bank.
When I get a book deal, maybe you can help me out. Oh, on that note, how's your latest project going?
At a snail's pace, but at least it's moving. I took a couple days off to celebrate Delta's arrival, especially tomorrow. You know, hangover day.
A good point, Sander. It also depends on like how new is streaming in this universe. Because if this is like, you know, Twitch just launched this year, there are 10 people streaming on the platform. It's kind of a little bit easier to make it into the top 10 when there's only 10 streamers, for example. Chocolate hazelnut is from Stash, and the sugar cookie one is from Celestial Seasonings. Not heard of them before. Pretty sure I've heard Stash before, though. Nice.
Can't enjoy the highs without the lows. But don't worry, I'll make us some mimosas in the morning. Sometimes the best way to cure a hangover is to drink more.
I have actually heard that, yeah. Never tried it. Have heard it.
I refuse to believe that.
I've never managed to get myself drunk enough that I've needed a hangover cure. Moderation is the best way to enjoy things.
You're a loss. But nothing ventured, nothing gained. Let's have a little toast to the unknown.
These guys seem to think otherwise, but that's fine.
It's not unknown. It's literally not true.
Taylor shrugs and grabs his shot glass. We down the next round of tequila. It's a little gross. You know what they say about too much of a good thing?
Well, maybe I'll believe you and get a big breakfast instead. My contract doesn't want me drinking too much anyways.
And yet, here we are.
Wait, they control what you do?
You say that like it's abnormal, man. There's always somebody on top of us that tells us what to do. Though I can think of a few scenarios where that wouldn't be too bad.
Wow, I'm going there already. That didn't take long.
I want you to know that I got your joke. It just wasn't good.
Yeah, okay, Dante and I are on the same page.
Well, I'm no writer, just an entertainer. I kind of do what you do, but with less elegance. Basically, get paid to vocalize my thoughts all day.
A little too relatable at the moment, but okay.
I'm surprised people pay for that. I didn't pay a thing, and I still want a refund after listening to you.
That's a good line.
There's a market for everything. It doesn't have to be good. I mean, look at how many copies your novels have sold.
Okay, these two are trading barbs a little bit here. Dante laughs and shares a big smile with Taylor. Okay, they do it in a friendly way, that's fine.
I honestly have no comeback for that one. You win this round, but I'll get you next time.
Looking forward to it. You're always a worthy opponent. Any idea what's taking Isaac so long, by the way? He hasn't said a thing in the group chat since he left.
Yeah, it's just Mance, it's fine.
Well, we know he's upstairs now. He's probably making the VIP section look pretty for us. Guess that gives me time for a much-needed bathroom break.
But I also just appreciate the bants, because let's be real, you've got a group of friends around, a couple of drinks, you're probably going to trade a couple of bants back and forth like that. Again, it's just helping make it feel a bit more realistic. It's building the characters a little bit more. I'm here for it.
Giving me and Delta some alone time, huh?
Delta never contributes much to any conversation, Spider-Macho.
I'd never torture my friends like that. I just gotta go.
Yeah, we haven't seen much of the oppression yet, is epic. Don't worry, I'm sure it's coming. He smirks at me before leaving the table. An awkward silence follows, and I look around the club. Something feels different about tonight, and it's not just the alcohol. It feels like I'm actually getting to know these people. When I first arrived, it was clear that they were putting on an act. I don't blame them. First impressions are often important. But the second impression can be even more important in my books. You know, the person you see when the courtesies start to fade. Also love that just this moment they faded out the music, so something's coming. Not a bad thing in any way. It means they're getting used to me. Guess this silence isn't a bad time to gather my thoughts. New music track coming in. Nice. Ooh, okay, that's right.
Interact with each word to learn more about it.
No, I refuse. You can't make me.
Upon interacting with all three, your experience will continue.
It's so weird because it looks like it's telling everything from this first person perspective. Can you imagine if you were just like walking down the street and all of a sudden, freeze frame! And just this floating text appears in front of you. It's like, if you want to continue living your life, interact with these 3 things. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Sander. Like, 1984 was put as a snappier thing in the title. There's definitely more accurate descriptors for what this game's about. But there was more coming at it from the... Because, like, 1984 is about, like, government control of the population. This is more corporate control of the population, but similar kind of theme at the end of the day. Mars, Red Planet, welcome. You're here to say hey, hello, and leave. Well, hello. I hope you have a wonderful day doing whatever you're doing. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it. Luke Seawolf, the robot narrator can't make you do what you don't want to do. Yeah, absolutely. I refuse. I'm just going to quit right here. Dystopian promotions. You get a vision notification about the new... Oh, God. Actually, that's a good point, and that is a very good reason not to get ocular implants. You know, can you just imagine? You get, like, the new Google glasses, which are, like... I know they're looking into, like, augmented reality contact lenses as an emerging technology at the moment. Imagine that with ads. Just strolling down the street, happen to glance at something, it's like, oh, here's an ad for Wendy's, here's an ad for this, here's an ad for that. Yeah, that would actually be pretty awful. Alright, let's start with Taylor, because we're in the room with Taylor at the moment.
Hey! Get your head out of the clouds!
I can't. You're right here, and I'm thinking about you.
We finally get to hang out alone and you zone out? If I didn't know any better, I'd take it as an insult.
Yeah, I do that all the time, though. You're gonna have to get used to it. If it's corporate control of a planet, it's Armored Core 6 from Soft Reference. I mean, I'm sure it's a bunch of other sci-fi ones as well. I mean, I haven't played it, but isn't Lethal Company... no, Lethal Company's a bit different. But yeah, it is. It's all corporate control. We love it. He interrupted you. He did. He came in, like, before the text fully faded out. I love that. I shake my head and apologize. In retrospect, it was kind of rude. That's why I wanted to go to Taylor first, because otherwise we'd be sitting through flashbacks and memories of 2 other characters while Taylor's just sitting there watching us being like, this dude gonna say anything? What's going on here?
You mean a lot to Isaac. He's made that very clear. And from what I've experienced, you do seem pretty awesome.
How? I've done
Since he's
nothing.
taking his sweet time, how about we chat for a bit?
How do I seem pretty awesome? I've done nothing except, like, zone out, mope about the fact that I don't have Komorebi and that I'm different to other people in society. How am I awesome? I don't even know what I do for work. But I'm not hanging out with friends. I just go see my counselor. That's all I've done so far. That's true. We did have more than enough time to chat. Isaac is being slow, and I saw the bathroom line up awaiting Dante. I leaned back in my chair and tried to make myself more comfortable. It seemed like I'd be sitting here for a while longer yet.
Experience heart-to-heart fragment. Taylor 1.
I can just say no. No, we'll go yes. Let's learn a little bit more about Taylor. It'll be fine.
Hold on. Just let me move over there. There we go. Much better.
I'm a professional patient. Yeah, I get paid to go to the therapist. Absolutely. Yeah, not all visual novel protagonists are lame. But a lot of them, they need to be a blank slate so you can kind of insert yourself. But yeah, so far this guy's done nothing. I turned to face Taylor, immediately making things more personal. Well, hi. This was the first time we've ever been alone. Buzzed and in an obnoxiously loud club. What a perfect time to get to know each other. I'm saying it sarcastically. I'm assuming it's sarcastic. An awkward smile between the two of us marks the start of our conversation. I was warned about his drunken behavior, so I kinda know what to expect.
You know, I'm pretty proud of that sass-off I had with Dante. Usually he can pin me down, but I'm getting better on my feet.
You got a pretty
quick
quick
wit
wit.
can beat a sharp mind any day of the week. But a few shots of booze can easily bring that wit to a full stop. Considering that, I think I handled myself pretty well.
I note you like to talk about yourself a lot. You think pretty highly of yourself. That's nice.
Maybe one of these days you and I can go head-to-head.
You know. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm not a huge fan of Dante. Great comedic relief, some good one-liners, but just as a general character, not a huge fan. Alright, so we have some choices to make. Feel free to cast your votes in the chat, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 being the options from top to bottom. We have looking forward to it. I'll brush up on my sarcasm. Us, face to face. I like the sound of that. Or it's not fair to pick a fight so you know you'll win. Or I'm not a big fan of insulting my friends. No, sorry, this isn't, did I say Dante? This isn't Dante. This is, Taylor. Not a huge fan of Taylor. Yeah, sorry. Got the name backwards. This is not Dante, this is Taylor. Introvert's nightmare, not talking to anyone and still be popular. Yeah, I agree with that. But also introvert's nightmare, trying to get to know someone in an extremely noisy nightclub where you can barely hear the conversation between the two of you. And you're constantly going, what? 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 Because there's only a certain number of times that you can say what and still have it be socially acceptable. And afterwards, you just have to smile and nod and hope that's an appropriate answer. Most people going for one person going for 4, one person going for 2 for real on COD. Yeah, sorry, not gonna go for 2. I'm not picking up a romantic relationship with Taylor. I would either go number 1 or personally I would actually go number 3 and make it look, because this is meant to be like a joking reply, I think, saying, you know, it's not fair to pick a fight, you know you'll win. So we're kind of giving a little bit of praise going for that one, but yeah. Lucy would go 4 or 5. I wouldn't go for 4 because he's not really insulting the friends. It's in a joking way, and Dante took it well, returned it in kind, and actually won that. So I think that's fine by me. Budget Airlines, welcome. I don't think I've seen your name here before, but welcome to the stream. Do you represent any particular budget airlines, or are you an airline called Budget, like the car rental company? I only ask because I've also had other people drop into the chat with names like Mars the Red Planet, or we also had Samsung Fridge join the chat at one place as well. Polly, hi, how's it going? Nice to see you here. Another name I don't recognize. And again, if people are like just chiming in now and you've just been in the stream before but just don't chat because you're more of a lurker, absolutely fine. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having fun here. 4's kind of a buzzkill response. Yeah, I agree with you there. I think I'm going to go number 3. I'd either go 1 or 3 personally. And I've seen 1, 2, 3 votes for number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4 votes for number 3. So we're going for number 3. Locked in.
Wit! But you need to say it with more confidence.
Okay, so he appreciated that. I like it.
Not like you believe it's true, but like it is true. You meant it, I know, but I definitely didn't buy it.
I see. So we need to be a little bit more, be a bit more convincing with it. We can do that. Budget Airlines, the embodiment of every terrible seating experience, bout of turbulence, and hard landing you've ever had. Where can I file a complaint, Budget Airlines? I enjoy reading those kinds of stories. There's multiple ones I read through Reddit, or my favorite website to peruse every now and then is one called Not Always Right. Get a lot of lovely customer service and retail stories come through on there. I don't understand, like, there's a whole lot of things about people being like, oh, someone asked me to give up my seat so they could sit closer to their friend, or for something like that. I'm like, and they're always asking, does it make me an asshole for not doing that? Like, no, it's your seat, you paid for it, you have a right to sit in your seat. If someone else wanted a window seat or wanted X or Y, they should have done it. They had every opportunity. You are always entitled to what you have paid for. Simple as that. Your Roomba is louder than everything else right now. Well, turn up the volume, Acor. Come on. It's under your control. Anyway, he said, not like you believe it's true, but like it is true. You meant it, I know, but I definitely didn't buy it. We exchange a smile again, but it's much less awkward. That's probably for the best, since I assume we'll become close friends. This group seems super tight-knit. Getting close to one meant getting close to all.
You know, before you came along, I was the newest member of the group. It's been that way for a couple years, but now we have some new blood. I get to look at you through the same lens they used to judge me.
Oh, cool. They judge everyone.
Oh, but don't worry. I like what I see.
Wow, you are very forward.
So, do you move around a lot? Or will you be here long term?
I plan to be here long term, yeah.
Good to know. You seem nice. The
Thank
reason
you.
I ask is because I used to move around all the time. From one place to another, the system always kept me mobile.
Why? What were you doing that made it so the system had to move you around? He fiddles with the shot glass in front of him. Yeah, you got a story to tell here, mate.
So, this whole fresh start thing, I know what it's like. I'd brag about having more practice, but that's not really a good thing.
Really not.
Moving around made it really hard to keep a stable group of friends.
So, are you going to be the first one of the group to leave then, perhaps? Guess we'll see.
When I got my first phone, though, everything changed.
I mean, yeah, true.
Making friends and keeping in touch when I move away? Priceless. I guess I also made some pretty good jokes. Got a lot of followers. So when I decided to start streaming, I already had an audience. The transition from hobbyist to full-time job happened almost overnight.
Good for you.
I bought a house here, settled down, and then met the rest of the group.
How did you meet the rest of the group, though? I was assuming you would have been already friends before you became a streamer. So I'm curious to know is like how Taylor ran into everyone else.
And now, I'm sitting here with you. That's the story of Taylor. You'll have to forgive me, I'm not one to really open up like this. But when you talk to strangers all day, you kinda need to hold back.
That's fair. Super Nintendo Dog, welcome. You're almost unsubscribed seeing this thumbnail in your feed. Look, sure, if that it's your prerogative to do that if that's what you want. Again, this is games selected by the community. We're here to play it, enjoy it. In all honesty, though, when we did this for the first time 2 weeks ago, I think I lost about 30 subscribers in a single day because we were playing this game. You know what? I don't care. It's good fun. It's gonna be interesting to see if we see a similar effect from today's stream or not. But to be fair, almost every time I stream, there's at least anywhere between 1 and 5 people might unsubscribe, and that's cool. Maybe the live content's not for them. It's always optional content anyway.
Oh, don't get me wrong, I love my viewers more than anything, and yeah, there's a lot of regulars, but it all feels so surface level, you know? I'll never bond with them like I did with Isaac and Dante.
Some parts of this are just a little too relatable. I wonder if they knew people might stream this game when they were writing the script for it. Because I kind of have to agree with that. Like, all of you guys hanging out in the chat, like, I would consider you guys to be, part of the community. If I'm being completely honest, heart to heart, it's hard for me to necessarily say I would consider you guys to be friends. I've never spoken to you, like, outside of the Discord or outside of the live streams, but it doesn't mean I don't want to. It's just, to me, you would be acquaintances. You're part of the community. You're part of a greater whole that makes up the community around the Steam Sequence series and channel. But yeah, it's... if we ever get the chance to actually sit down and chat conversation, then I would consider us to be friends. So I relate to what Taylor is saying. It's like, I talk to a lot of people, I communicate back and forth, but there's a difference. Gray, you just remembered some characters from a story you were writing once that you haven't drawn yet. Sounds like you got some more drawings to do. People go, yeah, I lost some subs over the game, but I mean, that's to be expected. Even the topic of furry stuff is contentious to some people, so it was something that I kind of predicted would happen. That's fine. Yeah, gotta be careful parasocially. Absolutely agree, Alyssa. Like, there is a line you need to draw somewhere when it comes to that kind of stuff. Kind of hard to establish a deep friendship with someone you don't even know how they look like. I would say that you absolutely can form a deep friendship with someone that you've only ever communicated online, but it's a lot harder. Requires a lot more work, that's for sure. Verrucht Cat, normalize COD zombie references in media. I don't know where that's come from or how that relates, but hi? Welcome? Alright, let's carry on.
Guess I'm just one of those quality over quantity guys.
I definitely get
Kind
that.
of ironic that I chose a field where numbers mean everything then. Can't complain too much though. I guess I do have the best of both worlds.
You are a lucky person indeed. I just don't like your attitude towards dating. It's odd to see someone so successful have gripes with their life. But I guess nothing can be positive all the time. Even stardom could have its drawbacks, and it does.
I'm glad we got to
Not
have
that
some
I'm
time
speaking
to
from
ourselves,
like personal
Delta.
experience, but
Even
from
if
having
it felt
listened
like
to
I
others.
did most of the talking, I think I needed that. I talk to people all the time, but it's rarely about anything real.
Yeah, Sander, a little too close to home. I wouldn't say it's because I see myself, but I would say there's similar personality traits. I do love to make a good joke where I can here and there, but yeah, it's just something about the way that Taylor as a character interacts with Delta. It comes on way too strong. Definitely. You are Verrucht Cat. Sorry, it's hiding behind thing there. The Verrucht of all cats. Okay. I don't know what Verrucht means. Is that like Danish, German, Swedish? What language is that? What does it mean? I'm curious. People call it poetry, then explain your imaginary girlfriend. Nice. Okay, so we're glad to have some time to ourselves. Felt like you did most of the talking. You did, because Delta very rarely talks. Cool.
How about you join me at my place next week? We can have a blast tonight and pick this up next time. Maybe I'll even let you guest on my stream, if you're nice.
You're gonna let an unknown personality in as a guest on your stream. That sounds like a terrible idea, Taylor.
Oh, and we'll have a lot more privacy there. Feel free to take that one however you will.
This is exactly what I was talking about. Comes on way too strong. Again, I'm sure maybe some people are down for that. They're like, you know what? I appreciate your forwardness and your honesty. I'm like, can we just like be friends first, maybe? Oh dear. Okay, Verduct is crazy in German. Awesome, thank you. That makes more sense. You saw your old art expansion is about go back and redo it, Gray. Now that you've got new skills, do a version 2 of a lot of them. Do we actually know what Delta looks like? No. Delta is whatever you want the character to look like, because it is the player character. You feel most non-furries would feel embarrassed to play this. The fact that you don't shows a level of confidence most men can't even dream of. I guess it's something personal for me. Like, I don't understand why I would feel embarrassed to play something like this. They're just characters. Seen a lot of weirder stuff. I mean, it's like complaining about CGI characters in a Disney movie. They're representative of real humans, but they aren't real humans. Doesn't really change anything. He smirks at me, and I give him a quick nod. There's no reason why that shouldn't work, so I agree. A crowded nightclub isn't the best place to form a bond. I mean, it's like, if I think about it, like, if you look at it from that perspective, did people get up in arms about the fact that in Toy Story, you've got a talking T-Rex and a literal piggy bank as characters? It's like, are they furries? Like, where do you draw the line? It's just an animated, stylized character. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, and actually, thank you, Spider-Man. Sonic games. Is anyone that enjoys a Sonic game? Okay, this is a conversation we probably don't want to go into, which is, where is the line for becoming a furry? That's probably a dangerous conversation to have, and it could rile up a few people. So, probably going to nip that one in the bud there and not take that any further. But I think it is an interesting thought exercise, and it's something that just never occurred to me naturally to even question why this would be a bad thing to dive into. Verducat, you are Verducat because in COD Zombies there's a map of the same name where atrocities happened. I will take your word for that. I have not played a Call of Duty game since Modern Warfare 2 came out. It has been a long time since I dove into COD. Alright, so I guess it depends on what you're looking for, actually. But right now I had no interest in extending my reach beyond this group. Even though I've known Isaac for years, I'm getting to know him all over again. That's a good thing, though. It was an adventure that I was happy to embark on. Getting to know these people and their quirks could only happen once. One day, I definitely look back on this and wish I could relive it all.
You really are the master of daydreaming, huh?
Absolutely, I can daydream in the middle of a conversation.
Well, I guess all of this could be pretty overwhelming. New city, new friends, new everything, really. I'll try not to add to the pile, so don't worry. Well, except for tonight, I can't make that promise. This club is a new experience for all of us, not just you.
First time. I noticed Dante returned from the bathroom in the corner of my eye. Taylor must see that I'm distracted and he turns to
Hey,
look.
it's about time! Delta was almost boring me to death.
Oh. A lot of furries in the Song family. Yeah, I do know about that. Don't worry. You have a friend that's furry. Are you furry by association? I'm gonna say you are not furry by association, but you are in the sphere because you know about it. The most general definition of furry is that it's everyone who has above average interest in anthropomorphic. Yeah, that's why I wouldn't call myself a furry. I don't have above average interest in. I have no motivation to like personify myself in that way. But it doesn't mean that I can't play a furry game. I find it weird that people draw the line of going, I can't be associated with furry things in any way, shape, or form. What are you afraid of? This will either turn to a screaming match or a Diogenean, sorry, I probably pronounced it wrong, Diogenean debate of, behold, I've brought you a furry. Here's one I prepared earlier. Oh dear. Gonna play Helldivers too, watching this? Yes, absolutely. Go and enjoy it. I've heard really good things about Helldivers, and if I had more time, I absolutely would jump into it myself. Polly, you're a furry and have regular friends. Does it mean you're a regular by association? Again, you're in the sphere, and it's your choice how deep into that sphere you want to go. It works both ways. Absolutely. Time to hide your collage of crushes. Most of it is normal but one. Look, if that's what you enjoy, be proud about it. The line between being a furry and not being a furry is whether you would describe yourself as a furry. Unfortunately, the reality is in society there is... what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah. Unfortunately, society doesn't always deem it that way. They don't view it from that perspective. Even though I agree with you, a lot of society likes to judge based on what they see in others more than anything else. So I do agree that really it comes down to a personal descriptor, but other people love to jump to conclusions, which is an unfortunate reality. Alright, so Delta's coming back in.
Whoa, he's insulting you. Just so you know, that means he has a crush.
Yeah, we figured that one out. Make sure that's on, yeah. He sits down and plays with the empty shot glass in front of him.
Sorry I took so long, by the way. Some guy tried to sell me drugs.
Well, that came out of nowhere. I hope you said no.
Ooh, did you buy enough for all of us?
Dude, drugs are bad.
Yeah, think about your social score. Yeah, social score. That's what this is all about. Uh-huh, cool, thank you.
Oh, all right. And how many energy drinks have you had today?
2.
Oh, yes, there's the double standard. Can't say I didn't warn you about that contest, man. It was just a ploy to create new addicts, nothing more.
I was honestly worried for a second there that I might need to actually, like, shut down the stream depending on where that next conversation went. Quick, Alt F4!
Yeah, I heard you the first 1,000 times.
I'd be worried that they're fighting, but I know better than that by now. This is just how they get along. If they hated each other, they wouldn't talk at all. It's about to continue, but Isaac startles all of us with his unexpected return.
Hey, looks like everything is good to go. Come with me. We're going somewhere special.
VIP room, let's go.
You mean the VIP section?
Hell yeah.
Aw, what? How'd you know?
The bartender down here gave it away. Said the only thing going on tonight was upstairs.
Buzzkill.
Plan ruined.
You're the only buzzkill here, man. Keeping us in the dark until the last possible second?
All right, fine. Let's just go and have some fun.
To be a VIP section with just like the 4 of us and no one else.
That's all you ever had to say, Isaac. Maybe start with that one next time.
Yeah, could have hyped it up a little bit. Would have been excited knowing that we're going to a VIP section rather than just being like, what's going on? We all get up and start to follow Isaac. At least the time was finally upon us. No more teasing or secrecy. So how's this all going to go wrong? Or is it going to go wrong? I'm not sure what he wanted to hide, but it kind of backfired on him. If he wanted to hype something up for my benefit, he didn't need to. I would have been fine with no outing at all and just staying home. But at least if this went well, I'd make another new friend. Isaac is a good judge of character, so I bet we'll meet someone cool. At least everyone he's introduced me to so far has been pretty awesome. With slight anxiety, we ascend the stairs to a floor reserved just for us. I have to admit, that does make me feel a little special. Jesus, every time. You drink energy drinks, you don't do meth. Double standard much? Yeah, come on. Get into the hard drugs. Don't do drugs. Goes without saying. Alright, VIP section, upstairs. We ascend the stairs and my anticipation rises alongside me. I've never been treated to something like this before, so I'm grateful. I only hope that I'm able to express that properly to our new friend. A friend of Isaac's is a friend of mine, at least in theory. When did I launch Mass Effect? It's been in the background the entire time. Any addition to a group dynamic has the chance of going sour. However, I decided to be optimistic in the face of what could go wrong.
I'm sorry for the secrecy, but here we are. I didn't want to reveal what was happening until the last minute. Sometimes a surprise is necessary. Just felt like one of those days.
I get it. You want to make it special.
Dude, we just talked about how the surprise was ruined. I mean, it's not really a surprise if everyone knows but us. Even their part-time bartender was in on this thing.
Yeah, but I value the look on your face more than theirs. That's why I kept it a secret from you and not the staff. Good or bad, a surprise is still a new experience, right?
That's the logic you're using to save face? Don't even get me started on how bad that is. Just admit the fact you handled this wrong right from the start.
Hey, don't speak too soon. Look, I promise you'll understand why I've been acting so weird. There were a bunch of other people involved, and a lot of strings attached.
Yeah, how did you manage to swing this?
Strings?
Also, I do kind of love that because of Isaac's coloring, it makes him constantly look like he's wearing a turtleneck sweater. I don't know if anyone else sees that or if it's just me, but every time I see it, it looks like he's wearing a turtleneck sweater.
A bunch of other people?
And yeah, you're absolutely right, Budget Airlines. He is definitely ace flag colored. My name is Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite stream in the Citadel.
Yeah, I wasn't the only one who wanted to keep things secret. I was only playing by the rules that made everyone comfortable. Also, I was legally bound.
Legally bound?
Forms involved.
Interesting.
Yeah, because the law always keeps you in line.
Good point, Dante. Isaac has a habit of kind of stretching the meaning of the law.
Is this about my mods again? They're legal. I'm being honest for once. Just trust me. Please.
Said every liar ever.
Bro, when the police come knocking, you can rub it in my face. But right now, the ball is in my court, and I plan to serve.
Oh, a sportsman all of a sudden.
Damn it, I was gonna say that.
You're acting so weird, like you're trying to be cool. Do not continue this.
And suddenly it all falls into place. He just wants to impress his new boyfriend.
You know what? Because you're talking about it, I would absolutely be on board if this game suddenly did like a complete 180 and turned into Mass Effect the visual novel. That would be absolutely insane.
His new what?
Another man pokes his head out, having been knelt behind the bar.
Sorry, I was just organizing these bottles. Didn't expect the selection to be so artistic.
Not the voice I was expecting, but hi, who are you?
Wine is the one that gets better with age, right?
Yes, yeah, it is. Better than most other things, anyway.
Yeah, you could ask Isaac that one. He's pretty old.
Huh. Guess that's why he's finer than you.
Okay, so now we've got a little bit more back and forth between these two.
Are you sassing me?
I came prepared.
We all laugh and move closer to the bar. Isaac's friend looks familiar, but I can't put a finger on it. Rather than dwell on that, I simply thank him for his generosity. Yeah, not actually a woman, it is a man. More effeminate, but definitely a man.
No problem. I was actually supposed to do a signing up here. I'm guessing Isaac told you about the event that was canceled? Thankfully, we still had the venue booked, so I made use of it.
Yeah, the voice sounds almost feminine, but if you think about it from a different way, it actually just sounds like a much younger guy. Yeah. Yeah. Sure, we'll get used to it.
Yeah, he has a following.
So who is this person? Suddenly, we hear a high-pitched scream from behind us. It was obviously Taylor, but when we turn around, he acts oblivious. Okay, so this is someone else from, like, the streamer/online world. It's someone that Taylor knows, and is obviously a fan of. He simply lets out a deep breath and places his hands together.
I am composed.
No, you're not.
That's a new noise. Please never make it again.
Taylor ignores the bait and steps even closer to the bar.
Sorry, I didn't really recognize you. I'm Taylor, and apparently I'm also an idiot.
Nah, don't worry. You're not an idiot. You'd be surprised how accurate those old comic books can be. Put on some glasses, change your hair, and nobody can recognize you.
Can't hide that voice, though. We were just listening to you before we walked over here. I guess the whole surprise thing makes a lot more sense now.
Interesting. Who is this?
Wait. I know you.
Dante's eyes open wide as he approaches a sudden realization.
And I know you, too. Can you sign some stuff for me?
Well, I have some spare copies of my books back at home.
Bold of you to assume I didn't bring my own. I've been a fan since day one. Even have a first edition copy of Forlorn. And Taylor, I love your streams. Great company for those long trips.
Interesting, okay. I'm able to piece together the evidence. That's Clace. Wait, hang on. Is the dev done a self-insert? Pretty sure Clace is the dev. Yep. Clace is the dev. They're also the one who's done some of the music for the game as well. Like we heard a song earlier on the previous stream. So, yeah, self-insert. I don't know how I feel about that. I guess we need to see how this character evolves, but I don't know, it feels a little strange to me. Maybe it's just me. It feels a bit odd. You said the other cat guy, Shinji Evangelion voice actor. Okay, so it's a VA from something else, so it's not the dev doing their own voiceover. They've actually gotten someone else to voice act their self-insert character. Alright, let's proceed with an open mind. We were listening to his music just a few hours ago while we pre-gamed. I knew enough to know that he was a person of note in the music industry.
Wow, didn't know we had any idols lurking in chat.
Oh yeah, totally. I tell a lot of people about your channel too. You should let me join you as a guest while I'm in town.
Sure. How long are you in for?
A couple months, probably, unless something comes up. I'll be easy to find though. Isaac is gonna add me to the group chat.
Oh damn. Alright, celebrity in the chat.
Sounds good to me. So, what are the plans for tonight?
That was certainly interesting. They've arranged a collab. I've seen crossovers like that and they always end up in the news. A streamer and an idol playing games together? Everyone loves to see it. I'm not really familiar with the content that any of these people make though. Dante's novels, Taylor's streams, and Clace's music? Never experienced them. But I knew that this was going to change, and at this rate, it'd be changing fast.
Figured we'd each grab a bottle and just hang out. Trust me, the couches up here are super comfortable. Oh, and Isaac, we still on for Sunday?
So, a lot of the other people are famous for something, and I'm just here tagging along.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Pretty much fits the record.
What's happening on Sunday?
He's moving in with us.
I like the way that line was voice acted because even I was surprised to see that. Just be like, he's what now? Huh? Well done, well done. The VA for Isaac is doing a fantastic job. Well, I mean, pretty much the entire cast is, but yeah, fantastic job.
What?
Surprise!
That's why they're keeping it all hush-hush.
Now I know why you kept all of this a secret. Can't have any objections if nobody knows anything.
It's not like that. Okay, maybe it's kind of like that, but you should see the look on your face.
Worth it?
You are absolutely right, Lucifer. Classic harem anime. Get all of the main characters into one house, and then it begins. All right, I guess that's where this one's going.
Totally. So, what do you want to drink? I think I'll grab a bottle of fancy wine.
Same.
Stop.
We've already had everything else. And it looks like those bottles are pretty expensive.
Let's not drink too much, though. Don't want to run his tab through the roof.
This conversation's been a little odd with just having Clace hanging out over on the right-hand side, but everyone's cycling on the left. Bit weird. Wow, the Spider Macho. Hey, that's a statement, that's for sure. You'll go and enjoy Doki Doki Family. That sounds like the game for you. Isaac's not that famous, he just works at the Apple store. Not the Apple store, the Argus store. It's definitely not Apple. Definitely not.
Oh, feel free. It's all bought out, so don't let it go to waste. You can even grab a few to take home if you want.
Damn, okay, so everything's pre-purchased. Taylor steps forward and places his hands on Clace's shoulders.
You are my best friend.
Still creepy. I'm going with creepy. Still creepy. When will Graeldon play the official KFC dating sim? Maybe. Might do at some point in the future. Yeah, you poke through the parallel world for a second. That's fine. Clace chuckles and grabs the bottle of wine he was holding earlier.
Let's take a seat and see if we can make that mutual, alright?
Okay, so I'll ship these two. 100%. Okay! End of scene, sure. Jesus. Yeah, no, there's an official KFC dating sim. That's a thing. Actually, I don't know if it's technically official. Someone might be able to do a quick Google search and check that, but there is definitely a KFC dating sim. Ooh. Clace holds a deck of cards, but not the kind you'd expect. It's a card game made for a night of drinking with peculiar questions. Nothing held back. Talk about going off the deep end for a first impression.
Looks like this one's for Taylor. At least, I think it suits him the best.
I hope we get to answer some questions. This could be fun. I'm curious to see how the devs tackle this because they're giving themselves a nice opening for some player choice and some player input. Do they capitalize on it? Let's find out.
Yeah? What is it?
Let's see here. What's the pettiest thing you've ever done?
Hang on a second. I wish I could replay that. Did he just say, what's the pettiest thing you've ever done? Instead of done? Did I mishear that? Someone go back and rewind and listen. Did he say, what's the pettiest thing you've ever done? Or did he say, pettiest thing you've ever done? Because I feel like I heard done. And I had something lined up I was going to say, and now it's completely gone from my head. Are you Canadian shaming him? No, of course not. $10 on either an unexpected, not safe for work scenes or someone being thrown out of a plate glass window soon. Could be either. Could be either. Okay. He said "don't." Okay. Cool. Wasn't just me then. What I was going to say is maybe this could be fun to actually answer the questions ourselves as we go through these. So, pettiest thing you've ever done. I would need to think about this for a minute. I don't really do much in the way of petty things. Let me think. Pettiest thing I've ever done. Yeah, I haven't even got anything that really falls into malicious compliance. I am a little bit of a people pleaser, so doing petty things isn't really up my alley. It would probably come down to, you know, being asked to do something in the workplace and doing it in exactly the way they've described, but not in the way that it needs to be done. It's probably the worst thing that I've done in that regards. Curious to know what you guys would have as the pettiest thing you've done, but let's find out what Taylor's is.
Oh, easy. You mean today or...
Stalling rule!
Objection
Ouch.
sustained. You can't answer a question with another question. That defeats the entire purpose of the game, Taylor.
Why did we make you the judge again?
Because they're a good judge.
Just be thankful you didn't make me the executioner, man. Either way, stalling rule dictates that we get to ask another question. And not only that, but it doesn't have to be from a card. We can make it up.
Oh. And if I refuse to answer?
Shot.
Oh, what a terrible punishment.
Of course.
Not like I've been doing that all day anyway. Can I just take 2 shots and avoid this altogether?
No.
Objection sustained. Let's take it from the top. What's the pettiest thing you've ever done?
Okay. Taylor places his head into his hands and sighs.
You're all really out here trying to ruin me. Just promise you won't repeat this. It's embarrassing.
Alright, come on, let's hear it, Taylor. What have you done?
Remember, sworn to secrecy.
All right. Well, I was dating this guy. He was cool, I guess. We'd hang out and watch TV shows all day. It got to the point where I enjoyed the TV shows more than him.
That's pretty awkward. Dating someone and you enjoy... you start watching a show together and you're like, I just enjoy being around you because then I get to watch the show. Oh, that's pretty bad. Oh yeah, you guys. Misinterpreted shot, I think, there. Would have made the game more interesting for sure. And Spider-Macho coming in with the John Bon Jovi reference. Nice. Shot to the heart and you're to blame, baby. You give love a bad name. Yeah, I get that reference. Used to listen to a lot of Bon Jovi.
And you know my motto, don't spend money if you don't have to. I ended up dating him for a year before actually calling it off.
Ooh.
Gave me time to watch what I wanted. No subscriptions.
Dated someone just to take advantage of their Netflix subscription. That is petty, yeah. We all exchanged glances, a little shocked.
That's foul, man.
Hey now, we all do stupid things when we're young.
He'd be like, this was 6 months ago.
Young? This was just last
I was
month.
close.
But come on, you saw the new season of Insomnia Cafe. Don't tell me you wouldn't do the same. It was so good.
Wonder what Insomnia Cafe is a real world reference to. Don't know off the top of my head.
A man-child. We're in the company of a literal man-child.
That's what it is. That's why Taylor coming onto Delta as a character feels weird to me. It's because Taylor comes across as very immature. And that is something which I... Yeah, no, not here for that. Not here for that. I don't know if he's too broke to get his own Netflix subscription. I think he's the kind of person that just really dislikes spending money. I am blanking on what the specific word for that is. A bit of a miser, I guess. He, yeah, just refuses to spend it. He's too cheap. Yeah. Ah, you just visited your cat. She says hi. Hi, Grace cat.
Like your answers would be any better. I have dirt on all of you. Keep that in mind.
Frugal. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you,
Big
Grace.
mistake now. Trash talking when we get to ask whatever we want.
Yeah, agree.
In that case, I'm gonna go with Delta.
Here we go.
I know you wouldn't put me on the spot too bad. And my liver hurts, so I'd prefer a question I can answer.
Okay, do we get to choose?
Can he do that?
Yeah, reversal rule. He either elects someone or we spin a bottle. Gives him a chance to minimize his embarrassment.
Okay, cool.
Delta, don't minimize anything. Throw him under the bus just like he does to us. We'll finally give him a taste of his own snarky medicine.
Love this. So we basically all meet up in the most popular nightclub in the city. We've booked out the VIP room. We're hanging out with basically celebrities, and we're essentially doing a version of Never Have I Ever. Is this really what people do when they go to a nightclub? Because somehow I don't think so. Everybody looks at me. I guess I have to decide on what we ask Taylor. A bunch of questions flood the forefront of my mind, and I focus. Thankfully, I've been gathering my thoughts. I'm ready for this. Let's see. All right. Get your votes in. Again, 1 through 5. 1 being the top, 5 being the bottom. What are the last 10 pages in your browser history? That is a good one. We could have some fun with that. Who do you currently have a crush on? Don't really care. What is your biggest regret? Who is the most attractive person here? Or have you ever cheated on a significant other? I would probably go for number 1, to be honest. Most because I don't want to know who he has a crush on or who he thinks is the most attractive person here. I'm not interested in Taylor's romantic aspirations. Yeah, 3 is a bit of a downer question, could kill the mood. 4 would definitely cause chaos. 5 and 1 are probably ones that appeal to me the most personally. Number 1 is the one I'm leaning towards, just because I think there could be something juicy and or embarrassing here. And the whole point is just to embarrass Taylor at this point in time. People call it poetry. Calm down, Lucifer. Calm down, Lucifer. Going nuclear, going for number 4. Alright, give you a couple more seconds. See what we want to go for. So far, it looks like it's going to be between 1 and 4. Probably actually the ones which people are going for. We have 3 votes for 1, 1 vote for 4. That's Lucifer twice. Alright, I'm going to go for number 1. Let's see what happens. Oh, Graeldon, hi, how's it going? In your old city, the nightclubs are just 1-floor cement buildings with no windows. Every time you drove past one, you feel like you're going to lose a kidney. You know what? You probably would if you actually went in there. That would be a very dangerous thing to do. Like incognito until he press. Yeah, I mean, let's be real. Taylor is pretty carefree. Do we think he would be using incognito mode and deleting his browser history? I have a feeling he wouldn't. We're doing it. Browser
No, absolutely
history.
not. At least let a man die with some dignity.
Perfect. We got him panicked. I love how quick the response came out on that. There was no beating around with the bush, being like, oh, do I have to? No, I would never want to. It was literally just, nope, absolutely not. Not doing it. Never. That will never happen. I will die before that happens. I got an achievement for that. Nice. He shakes his head and takes the shot that rests in front of him. They were lined up like ammo. Bullets would endure for hiding the truth. I had a feeling that would fluster him. You could do the same to almost anybody.
Look at that, you stumped him. Honestly, I don't know what I like more, watching him take shots or watching him get all flustered.
From where I stand, they're both pretty entertaining. But I imagine you'd like to learn more about us, right? Let's try to minimize the shots from here on out.
Ah, where's the fun in that? I'm firing a different kind of shots at the moment. We all exchange glances, unsure of what happens next. The double question really threw a wrench in the momentum. Before continuing, Place coughs to get all of our attention.
I went last, so that means Delta's next. But no more freedom. Gotta stick to what's in your hand. And Taylor isn't allowed to be questioned until after his next turn.
Fair enough, fair enough. I nod and look down at the cards in my hand. It does seem like each one would fit a specific person. Place targeted Taylor, so I'll try the same with my next move. Let's see. Okay. We can ask a question to Clace. What fact about yourself do you hide from others? Question for Isaac. If your life was a sitcom, who would get the most laughs? Or Dante, describe the most attractive part of everyone present. Who? Ooh, that's a brutal one. Alright, again. 1, 2, or 3. What are we going to go for here? I have no option to do shots. Sandra, there's obviously one thing to be embarrassed about in your browser history, but I feel like I'd be more embarrassed about the dumb things I Google. I honestly don't even know what like the last 10 things I Googled are. Probably stuff in relation to like streaming channel editing, things like that. Votes for 2 or 3. Yeah, I probably wouldn't go for Clace. People are wanting chaos. Chaos. Excellent. A little bit of chaos is sometimes fun. That one could get very, very steamy. Subtract a point from 2. Don't care between 1 and 3. Okay. Interesting. We've had 2 votes for 2, 2 votes for 3. I'm casting my own vote for 3 just because get things a little spicy. Get things a little spicy in here, I reckon. So let's do it. All right, Dante, describe the most attractive part of everyone present.
Wait, seriously? Way to put me on the spot, Delta.
Hey, someone's going to get put on the spot. Just happened to be your turn.
See? Now that's the kind of question I've been waiting for. Always a good idea to throw praise at your friends.
Yeah, praise. That's what we're calling it.
And I finally get to hear what Dante likes about me. I've asked him for years, but he always acts ignorant.
We like it when you're not present.
That shot is getting more and more tempting. But fine, just don't get mad at me if it's not what you want to hear, okay?
I mean, this could also be pretty brutal. If, like, in your own mind, you have already ranked, like, what you think is your most attractive quality, and then someone else says what you deem to be, like, your least attractive quality is your most attractive quality, I'm not sure if that would be a confidence boost or a confidence lost. Could be either way.
Hey, everyone has their own taste. Wouldn't be fair to hold that against you.
Alright, but this will help us learn a little bit more about each of the people as well, maybe.
Yeah, don't worry. We'd never do that. As long as you get the answer right, of course.
Dante sighs, realizing it may be impossible to please everyone at the table. A moment later, in rapid-fire fashion, he speaks his mind, almost like he rehearsed it.
Clace, the voice. Isaac, the ambition.
Place the voice, okay, yeah, fair. Singer. Isaac, ambition. We don't know that much about Isaac, but yeah, okay, I see it.
Taylor, the confidence, and Delta, the willingness to take risks.
Pretty safe answers, to be honest. Very tactical, but safe. He smiles after he finishes, like he's proud of his answers.
Oh, that was honestly great.
You admire my ambition?
Yeah. Someday I'll have a work ethic like you. I spend more time looking at memes than writing.
I know that feeling. Yeah, didn't even say the booty. Disappointed. No, like, oh, I love your eyes or your smile. Very went a little bit more meta with the descriptions rather than going physical. But you know what? That's fine. I think it's equally valuable feedback people to hear. But also, I 100% agree with what Dante is saying here last night. Like, for real moment. Last night, I had allocated myself, like, 3 to 4 hours in the evening to spend some time working on a script for an upcoming video. And I think of those 3 to 4 hours, I spent maybe 30 minutes actually writing a script, and the remaining 2.5 or so hours just scrolling through YouTube shorts, while constantly thinking about the fact that I was meant to be writing a script. It's usually how it goes. Procrastination is a strength of mine.
Same. That's one of my favorite things to do. I'll say I'm gonna sleep, but I'll just stay on my phone all night.
I'm usually pretty good about that. Bed is for sleeping, not for spending too much time on a phone.
A connoisseur, I see.
Only the best. And if you're nice, maybe I'll share.
Share what? The memes on your phone or share the bed? Where are we going with this? He smirks before continuing the game.
Looks like Taylor is next. That means your immunity is worn off, too.
Suck shit, Taylor.
Oh, sweet. It's time to get my revenge.
Bring it on, dude. I'm sure I'll never recover.
Taylor inspects his cards and then whines audibly.
Not fair. All of these are so wholesome. Can I just swap cards with somebody else?
No, you may not.
No, it won't kill you to be wholesome for once.
It really might.
Hey, make your move before I call the stalling rule.
Fine. Let's see here. Tell us about an embarrassing fact or experience. At least this one has potential to be juicy.
Okay, yeah, fair question. Who are you asking it to?
That one seems like revenge to me, man. Clace, no need to answer if you don't want to.
Oh, it's fine. I just don't know my answer yet. I'm no stranger to scandals, so this casts a pretty wide net.
Go ahead. Take your time.
But not too much. Remember, the rules apply to you too.
Are you sure you don't want help with this one? I know you had some pictures and videos leaked.
That's awkward.
Taylor!
Oh, yeah, but I killed it in those. Not embarrassing at all.
Yeah, Taylor is definitely the chaos gremlin. 100%. Welcome back, Acor. They're doing a card game version of something that's similar to Truth or Dare is what we call it, usually over here. I've not heard it called Truth and Duty before, but I guess that's just like your local version. I'm sure it's got a bunch of different names depending on where you are in the world, but Truth or Dare is, I think, what most people know it as. Wow, okay, yeah. They're owning whatever those pictures and videos that leaked were.
You want me to start a timer?
Oh, no need. Just let me figure out how to word it.
He strikes a thinking pose before starting to speak. Thinking pose.
Well, I guess this one is just an embarrassing fact about myself. But I'm pretty sure I owe my entire career to a fluke.
I think a lot of us can relate to that on some level.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Well, it goes a bit deeper than that. I had my first vision when I was about to turn 13. You know, just like we all did. No real difference.
I decide not to say anything. The odds of meeting someone without a vision are so low, I can't blame him. There's no real reason to assume that someone at the table of 5 didn't experience Komorebi.
But in my vision, I'm older, with a lot more experience. I had a lot of albums out and a lot of songs to pick from.
No way.
Yeah, totally.
Also, Komorebi reference,
I
count
got
it.
started by stealing songs from my future self. I mean, I guess it's not really stealing since I still wrote them. But I entered the school's talent show that year with an arsenal. I got scouted right away, and I've been working ever since.
Oh, they made you do all that since you were 13?
Well, they adjusted my courses to incorporate singing and dancing. I wasn't doing more work. The work was just tailored a bit better.
Okay, interesting.
Interesting. I figured you went off to an idol academy or something.
I did, but that came a little later. And you're all milking 10 questions out of 1 here. Maybe you should be sticking to the rules you are enforcing.
Fair. Clace only owed us 1 answer. Not more.
Fair enough. It's just an interesting story.
But a bit embarrassing, so I just keep it to myself. If I told everybody, then the bad press would start flowing. I'd hate to feel like I have to defend myself all the time.
Oh, didn't think of it like that.
He stops to think, like he's choosing his next words carefully.
If standing up for yourself was bad press, my reputation would be ruined. Don't let people walk all over you. Others will see the prints and follow suit.
Actual good advice from Taylor. Wasn't expecting that, but that's actual good advice. You need to be able to stand up for yourself and fight your own battles, because you can never just assume someone else will do that. Dante leans forward, a little shocked.
Taylor gave good advice?
See,
This really is a special day.
I think Dante and I might be on the same wavelength. We all laugh as the game continues. I had my doubts at first, but Dante was actually right. This night is proving to be just as special as it will be memorable. Until... Every time I hear that, it's just like, but then things go wrong. I lay on one of the couches and stare up at the ceiling. Dante and Taylor do the same while Clace and Isaac lie on the floor. Ran out of couches? What's going on? It was basically unspoken, but we all decided to take a quick breather.
Hey, how'd you two meet anyway? This must have taken a lot of coordination.
Isaac did say there was quite a few strings and things they had to pull.
Not really.
Yeah, we met on Taylor's stream. Nothing crazy. He mentioned he was taking a break from work, so I invited him over.
Seriously? I keep a pretty good eye on who's watching my stream. Even if they don't chat, I can still check out the user list. Can't say I ever noticed your name pop up there.
That's a little creepy. Just saying. Feels a little creepy. So I just noticed that my chat is actually reading wrong. Why is it doing that? Hang on, 1 sec. Let me just reset that real quick. It's meant to be doing a live chat. I can't change that. Damn. Alright, so just realize, apologies, if I do miss a message of yours during the stream, it's because my overlay chat only shows top chat, not all chat. So if I do miss a message, apologies, but it's only a few of us hanging out here today, so I should see most of them.
Oh, I don't use that name online, or my legal name.
Clever.
The agency gave me a spare account so I could be anonymous. Isaac didn't even know who I really was until around a week ago.
Why did the agency need to give you a spare account? Why couldn't you go and create your own? Is it just me? That feels a little weird, right?
Yeah, it's basically a burner account that influential people get. If he went around posting as himself, he'd never have peace of mind. The account basically vanishes if his identity is compromised.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Sounds like a spy novel.
Is that even fair? A license to do whatever you want online?
Well, I'm still subject to changes in my score, so it's not like I use it for evil or anything.
Of
It's just an extra
course.
layer of security.
Right. Your online presence needs to be linked to your social score as well, because, again, it's another way of moderating things. It means that even when you're online, you are representing yourself. So if you be a little shit online, it needs to be reflected in your social score. So, of course, accounts for online platforms and services are restricted and linked in that way. So, yeah, actually, that does make sense that they need to go through and get an official account, but one that is anonymized because of their actual social presence. Yeah. Like how Taylor's like, man, imagine if people could be anonymous on the internet. Yeah, it does actually make sense when you put it into context of the world.
I think that's pretty cool. Good to know they care about your safety.
Yeah, totally. They pitched it as a digital security guard. It keeps people at arm's length, but it's not always good, because then I have to deceive people like Isaac. I was worried he'd hate me when I told him the truth. Any way you look at it, I lied to him for ages.
But it's not like you wanted to. He didn't have any ulterior motives either.
Yeah, it was all well-meaning. They didn't really have a choice.
True, but I still feel a little guilty. So buying out the bar was more like a peace offering. I'd like to get things off to a good start. No secrets between friends.
Nah, Sandy, you beat me to it. I was going to make a NordVPN joke, like, a little later. You beat me to it. Absolutely.
No place for those here.
Yeah, not if we plan to be friends forever.
Forever?
Until death, in Isaac's words. We were getting a bit sappy earlier.
Yeah, but Clace wasn't part of that agreement. Is Clace going to be the wedge that divides the group? Who knows?
Death? Sappy?
Yeah, we're a quirky bunch.
And I don't plan on dying anytime soon. So I hope you're good with being friends for a long while.
Yeah, of course.
Yep, we'll be friends for however long we can be friends for. Clace laughs, but I can tell that he's a little weirded out.
You know, I don't feel like I'm an outsider anymore. That card game really helped me get to know all of you. Before you came upstairs, I was worried you'd hate me.
Strange. Why?
Nah, Isaac is a pretty good judge of character. When he vouched for you, I knew we were in for a good time. He was just being shady about everything until the last minute.
Yeah, I'll take responsibility for that one. I hope you can understand why we needed some privacy.
True. If everyone knew that Clace was going to be hanging out there, would have made things a little more difficult. He looks to the side like he's a little shy about what he'll say next.
I'd also like to request that you offer me more during my stay.
Of course. So, just to get things straight, you're on a small hiatus from your music career.
Yeah, just wrapped up my tour, so it seemed fitting. And I don't need to start a new album for a while yet. Combine both of those facts, and boom, freedom.
Yeah, I get that. Nice to take a little bit of a break.
We're gonna make the most of it, too. Don't want you looking back on this with any regrets.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Isaac. For everything.
While they talk, I get off the couch and slowly walk away. I let them know that I'm just taking a quick breather. It's been a wild night. As I continue to walk, I hear their laughs slowly dissipate, replaced by music. I look off the railing and down to the first floor. Everyone seems to be having the time of their life tonight. Makes me wonder if any of them knew what was going on up here. Chaos would probably ensue if they knew that Clace was mere feet away. I don't know much about him, but I know that he could easily draw a crowd. That's probably the most important quality for someone in his line of work.
Experience heart-to-heart fragment. Place 1.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, why not? We absolutely should. I stand in front of the railing, watching the activity on the dance floor. It hasn't been too long since I arrived, but I'm starting to feel a sense of home. There's just something about this place and these people. I feel at ease. Also, there it is again. I don't know why this is happening with the text, but every now and then, certain words within a sentence become more pixelated. So if you look at the first sentence here, it looks fine. It's clean text. It looks normal. But then the I feel at ease, it's bleeding like there's overlapping text or something slightly. Don't know what's going on there. That's a bit odd. I'm even able to establish a rapport with the people I've never met. It's like the weight that hindered me back at home was completely eliminated. This could be a honeymoon period, of course, but I'm going to enjoy every second. Place approaches me, startling me out of my reverie.
Hey, how are you holding up? This is the first time I've seen you away from the rest of the group. We're all having a blast, you know. I hope you feel the same way.
Okay, got a little bit more choice in what we want to say here. Of course, just needed a breather before I continued. I was just waiting for someone to come ask me for a dance. Well, it's a lot better now that I'm alone with you. Or, yeah, I was just thinking about home. There's always one option that is such a downer. So, I'm guessing, you know, sure, reflection of personality. If you want to bring that into, like, every scenario, sure. I would probably go, at this point, probably number 1. I'm not the kind of person that's going to be making these kind of like joking responses all the time. I'm not going to start outright flirting on the first day that we've met. So I think for now it's going to be number 1. Acorn and Spider Macho are just wanting this to end as soon as possible by going for number 4. It's like, well, why don't you go home then if you don't want to be here? Or maybe they'll turn and be like, well, you can come home with me. Smooth AF. Alright, we're going number 1. Just needed a breather before I continued.
Oh, good. I was starting to worry. Things were getting a little intense, I'll give you that. But I'm glad you're not tapping out. We're just getting started.
Oh god, there's more. He gives me a soft smile before taking another sip of his drink. I thank him for coming over to check on me, and I expect him to leave. Much to my surprise, however, he stays beside me, enjoying my company. We watch the dance floor together, and I'm a little flattered. Someone of his status choosing to spend time with me? As that thought consumes my mind, I can't help but ask him.
Status? And what status do you mean exactly? People say that all the time, but they have no idea what this industry is like. I can guarantee that you'd outrank me tenfold if we compared our scores.
What scoring system are you using?
People like me, artists I mean, are known for having awful scores. Art has always been about challenging the status quo, at least to me. The system hates that, and every new song is a nosedive for my score.
I can see how that'd been challenging, but also, surely there are other ways to compare each other's worth and value and skills than a social score. I mean, I'm asking that as a rhetorical in-universe question. All of us here in the real world know that to be true, that someone's worth can't be boiled down to a number. But I guess that depends on where in the world you live. I tell him that I'm not talking about the system. I'm talking about his fame and fortune as a pop star. However, I'm a bit surprised that his score is low.
Oh, jeez. Now I'm embarrassed for going off on a tangent. Whenever somebody mentions status, I always think about the system.
That's fair.
We're just numbers in a computer. Fame and fortune will always come second to that.
Yeah, it does make sense for people to think about the system and your social score as the first point of reference for comparing each other, I guess. He takes another sip of his drink.
It goes against my values to treat one group of people better than another, too. So this status that you're talking about is from the outside looking in. When I watch you and your friends, I'm actually pretty jealous.
Yeah, status can create a barrier. He's envious of us? I ask him to elaborate.
At this point, I think the alcohol is elaborating, not me. But everybody dancing down there, I bet they wish they could be up here. They'd probably even abandon their friends and family for a life of luxury.
And he's gonna say he wishes he could be down there.
And by the time they regret it, it'd already be too late. Once you get into a world like this, there's no getting out. You're just there, watching them, and wanting to go back. You know,
Oh,
I
bye,
could tell that you and
Spider-Man.
your friends were worried. It was clear. You didn't really know if you'd fit in with me or not, but honestly, I was terrified that I wouldn't fit in with you.
He scoffs.
I said I wanted to have a good time, and now I'm bringing you down. Let's make a deal, all right? Drop the whole status thing between us. That's not something I can ask of them, but I know I can ask it of you.
Yeah, because I'm the only one in the group that's not famous for anything yet. Well, actually, technically Isaac's not either, but I'm the least famous out of all of you. He motions down toward the dance floor, and I understand what he means. Especially now that people are starting to recognize his face. They look up from the dance floor, taking pictures of us.
Just like they
Whoops.
want to be up here, I want to be down there. That velvet rope keeps me in just as much as it keeps them out. For my safety, they always say. Like I can't take care of myself. But I hope that you and your friends can change that. I don't have to be up here alone anymore. I can be with all of you. Hold on. Let me get this over with. It's rude to keep an audience hanging.
He leans over the railing a little bit, blowing a kiss to the crowd. With a smile and a little pose for the photos, it seems like his work is done. They cheer, but it's peculiar, like his personality changed just for the crowd. I mean, yeah, I 100% get that. I wouldn't even say that's peculiar. Anyone who's worked in retail knows that there's a difference between your normal personality and your retail personality. There is a certain way that most people need to present themselves to the world and to society. I 100% get that. That's not peculiar behavior. That's very normal behavior.
Well then, let's get away from all those prying eyes. If I'm not mistaken, you owe me a few facts about yourself.
Well, fine. Maybe I'll have a chance to actually say something. I nod and follow him back to the core area of the VIP deck. Core area of the VIP deck is a bit of a strange sentence. Back into the VIP room, back into the main VIP space. The core area of the VIP deck has been compromised. We sit down across from each other and he leans back, stretching. I think so far, don't get me wrong, the writing's been pretty good so far. Sometimes though, there's a weird line like that. Dante, Taylor, and Isaac are all still hanging out. Their distance provides us with privacy. He rests his empty glass on the table between us and then stares at me. I can tell he's trying to get a read on me, like he can just tell from sight. No, he's staring at you because he asked you to share something about yourself, and so far you said nothing. That's why he's staring at you. With a quick shrug, I rest back in my chair and wait for him to speak. He wants to know about you. Say something.
There's something different about you. Maybe it's because we're both fish out of water here. Lost and clueless, but lost and clueless together, right?
Okay, sweet sentiment, but... Delta needs to learn how to talk. Another smile. I gave him one in return. Bonding over a shared struggle makes sense to me. It's not easy moving to a place you know almost nothing about.
So, why did you move exactly? I know your friends are here, and Isaac offered you a room, but yeah. Running away from something? Looking for something new?
All of the above. I tell him there's a mix of both, honestly. I wasn't far off. At home, I felt held back. I needed a big change and more freedom. I also don't know what I want in life, so I guess it's an excuse to find myself.
Find yourself? I've been there, and it's not really what you'd think. Sometimes, finding yourself just means realizing how lost you really are. In the face of something like that, blissful ignorance almost seems preferable.
It might just be the alcohol, but that sounded rather profound. Yeah, it was a good sentiment. Clace immediately leans forward, giggling at what he said.
I am so putting that in my next song. Look, we just met and you're already inspiring me. Let's have another drink, all right? I like where this is going.
That's sweet. He quickly scurries to the bar and prepares 2 glasses of wine. Carefully walking back, he tries his best not to spill anything. Have you ever seen a glass of wine, or do you not know how to pour a glass of wine? Because you have to really overfill it to come close to spilling it. The whole thing is like with the wine glasses, you're only meant to fill it up like 1/3 of the way, and that is a normal drink's worth of wine. But then again, these guys probably aren't doing normal drinks. It's free booze at this point. They're going to be filling those glasses to the brim, right? Sitting down with a smile, he places the drinks on the table.
Thanks for opening up to me, by the way.
I barely
It's
did.
enough to know your reasoning. I shouldn't pry for specifics.
Yes, you should.
If I keep making you talk about your past, you'll never move on from it.
Oh, dear.
So, let's have a drink to the future, all right? And not the Komorebi,
Name drop.
but the future we make for ourselves. No need to base our lives on all of that metaphysical nonsense.
I raise my glass, and we drink in sync with one another because we loop our arms around in that weird way, and then we both drink at the same time. However, when we put the glasses down, I have to come clean. This is when I let him know that I've never experienced Komorebi.
Oh, really? Well, even better. From what I've seen, people like you live happier lives. I've never understood all that counselor nonsense.
I totally agree, and thank you for his point of view. If anything, it seems like the remnants of a dead system. People our age have long since come to terms with Komorebi name drop. Hello again, Aya's Epic. Switching from Helldivers to Need for Speed. Did Helldivers not go well for you? Did it kind of go to hell? Did you dive into hell? There's a joke there somewhere. But while we're on the subject, I had to ask him, what did he see in his vision? Did he see fame and fortune? I know he had songs in his head, but what else did he glean? He immediately looks taken aback and his ears perk up. He looks worried and blushes softly as he adjusts his scarf. Such a mixed reaction. Can't tell if I did something bad or not.
That's a third date kind of conversation, you know? But I doubt this is the last time we'll be hanging out together. Just put that one on the back burner. At least for now. Please?
Interesting. How do we want to play this? A little playful one? Or just a little bit more polite? Does that mean we can count this as our first date? Or, of course, not until you're ready. There's definitely a little bit of foreshadowing there. I think for this one I'd play it safe and go number 2. Seems a bit, what's the word I'm looking for? A little bit too forward to be considering this as a first date. I'm gonna go number 2 here. Not till you're ready.
Thanks. You're really considerate. I don't see that too often. Before my hiatus, they wouldn't let me make friends or even date anybody. They said that a single guy gets more attention, and I should focus on my career.
Did it already pick who I'm going to date? Who going after though? No, haven't really yet. We kicked things off with Isaac, but then potentially there's still one other character, the Zero, that we bumped into last time, which a lot of people seem to like as their favorite character. So I want to make sure we meet everyone first before we commit to something fully. You know, got to see what the choices are. What are the options? Also, this one scene has been going on for way longer than I thought it would. Wait, the industry controls his personal life? That doesn't sound good. Although it does explain why his social skills are rough around the edges. If this is really his first group of friends, then I'm glad to be a part of it.
Although...
He smirks.
I keep forgetting that I'm not bound by their rules during this hiatus. Like, I know I am, but it hasn't really registered in my head yet. They gave me this little break in order to seal a deal in the making.
Okay, you've got a little period of freedom then.
Yeah. After this break, I owe them 5 albums over 10 years.
That's a
My
big
last
commitment.
contract ran its course, so I actually had ground to negotiate. I'm giving them so much of my life. I guess I just wanted some of it back in return.
Okay. Akor, can you finish the game without dating? I have no idea. Maybe, but I'm willing to bet you don't get a good ending if that happens. It'd be the forever alone ending or something like that. There's something about all of this that seems so depressing. He's able to say it with a smile, however, like it's normal to him.
But I know that during this break, I'll make bonds that last a lifetime. The next 10 years will be nothing if I have all of you by my side. I was worried, but now I have some much-needed backup.
We both smile at each other and he blushes once more. I couldn't put my finger on it, but that seemed like the perfect end to our talk. Both standing up at the same time, it was almost like that feeling was mutual. It seems as if we're both in sync. Like he said before, fish out of water. Holding out his glass, he simply repeats the earlier saying.
Remember, lost and clueless.
But lost and clueless together. As I say that, I tap my glass against his. With a quick smile, he returns to the rest of the group. Another achievement! Everyone seems to be getting along as I head back to the group. Clay slowly sips on his glass of wine and everybody mingles with each other. That breather definitely helped. I can't party as hard as everyone else, it seems.
Welcome back! Was starting to worry you'd ditch us.
Just you.
Not everybody can handle a night like this.
No hard feelings if that's the case, of course.
Oh, there'd definitely be hard feelings. Isaac planned this night just for you, remember?
That was for all of us.
Pressure.
That's not even true. He planned the night around Clace, too.
Absolutely.
Makes me feel a little inadequate. I never got a party like this when I joined the group.
Yeah, I save it for the people who are worth it.
Oh, mean.
Justified, actually.
Yeah, 100% justified. Oh, who's flicking me messages? Cool, thanks LM. If you could not do that during the stream, that'd be appreciated. Clace finishes his glass of wine and places it down, emitting a loud noise. This gets all of our attention and the bickering quickly stops.
What do you think we should do next? There's still a few hours before last call.
What do you mean last call? You already bought all of the stuff up here. You're just helping yourself to it now. You said we could literally take the bottles home with us. There's no last call here. We stay as long as we want.
Good question.
Until the venue closes, anyway. We all exchange glances, unsure of what to do. No one mentions anything, so Clace changes the subject. Hey, Zepic, if there's ever a tragic death in this game, you should play... What? WNDRWLL, which looks like Wonderwall by Neil Siriga in your own time. Say that in your own time because you probably go, oh, okay, I'm guessing it's got some music or something in it that's got copyright restrictions. And then there's a lot of stuff that we can still play, I just can't monetize the content on it, and that's fine. No one mentioned anything, so Clace changes the subject.
I may have blown my cover a little earlier, by the way. We should probably sneak out the back entrance when we leave.
Probably for the best.
That's fine with me. I warned everybody that we might attract some attention. What should we do if everyone starts crowding you?
I don't think it'll be an issue, but just stay by my side. I can keep you safe if anything escalates.
We'll pretend to be the bodyguards. That way we can just escort you from the premises. Give us some black coats, some sunglasses. Yeah, bodyguards all the way.
Actually, I figured we'd be the ones protecting you.
Yeah, right. The crowd would eat you alive. I'm used to this, so if it comes down to it, just follow my lead. It doesn't happen too often, though. Not with the new point penalties.
Yeah, fair point. People wouldn't want to lose their social credit.
The new what? No?
Yeah, public scene, big uproar, obstructing paths. If they notice us, they'll probably just watch from a distance. Pestering a public figure can net you like 10 different penalties.
Okay.
Really?
Pretty big offense.
And that's been set in stone. That's not just one of the glitches happening lately.
Convenient excuse, don't you think? Crack down harder and blame it on a glitch?
Oh, is it tinfoil hat time? Trust me, I've heard every possible theory about Argus. The world was dealt a bad hand and they just wanted to help. That's
Of
all.
course. They just wanted to help. And impose all of their rules at the same time. It's just a coincidence.
You should hear what some of the people say to me at work. They have no problem trash-talking the company they're giving money to.
Because they don't have a choice.
Well, I mean, we're not just giving them money. We're giving them the freedom to control our lives. I know it's for the greater good, but it's still strict.
But is it?
You can still do whatever you want, though. You're not tied down. At the end of the day, you're still in control of your score.
Yeah, but you have a score, and that in itself is the problem.
Yeah, but there's a lot of incentive to be an obedient drone. A bad score can literally destroy your life and your social status.
Absolutely, Acor. It's coming. Viva la revolution!
Well, not always.
What do you mean?
My score is pretty awful, especially with all the partying I do on tour.
That is so not fair. Tank your score and they still let you buy out a bar? If any normal person tried that, they'd just be laughed away.
And that's why the social credit system's flawed.
So the scores aren't as absolute as we think. I mean, as far as theories go, that's pretty common.
But you can't say that's part of Argus's game. Notable people have always been given special treatment. It's not like that's a new addition to our society. Nothing changed.
Which then also begs the question, what special treatment is Argus giving to themselves?
Shouldn't it, though?
That's a bit too deep for me. No sense wasting time on something you can't change. It's just wishful thinking, like trying to defy your vision.
That doesn't mean you should just sit back and give up. As long as you believe in your cause, a losing battle can still be worth fighting.
Yeah, I'm with Taylor on this one.
You guys flip-flop way too much on whether or not you believe your visions.
Us and the rest of the world, Isaac. We weren't all given a bright one like you were.
Everybody looks shocked and exchanges glances. I know alcohol was at play, but Dante just made a big mistake. Revealing facts about another person's vision? Really bad move. I didn't have a vision, but I knew they were super intimate. Sharing your vision with someone else was an expression of trust. To have them speak about it to others was a bit of a betrayal.
You may think it's bright from what I told you, but unless you're all there beside me, it'll feel hollow. When things get tough, the hope that I can change it keeps me going.
To have a bright future, but to have it not be one that you actually want. It's a tough battle to face. Dante shakes his head upon realizing his mistake.
I'm sorry, Isaac. I didn't mean to speak for you.
It's fine. I'm among friends. I would trust all of you with this stuff. Just not now.
That's fair. Anyway, let's go back to Taylor. You've heard every theory? What are some of the worst?
Aliens?
Called it. Mass Effect.
Excuse me, people actually believe that?
Yes.
Oh, totally. I see it everywhere. Whenever something weird happens, people on the internet will say aliens. And I do have to admit, Komorebi is pretty
Name
high
drop.
up there on the weird scale.
Yeah, but aliens?
Why not?
Hey, I never said I believed it. I think the deterrent theory is way better.
Deterrent theory?
The what?
Oh, I know about that one actually. Right before the first visions, world tensions were high. Everyone thought we were moments away from all-out war.
That's interesting.
Then, all of a sudden, Komorebi
Name
steps
drop.
in. We don't care about fighting each other anymore. We have a new common enemy, the future.
The timing of that just seems too convenient.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. It's not something you can take, like a nation, and it's not something you can force, like an ideal.
It brought about peace. Whether random or created, that's still the case.
I don't think I can buy the theory that someone created Komorebi.
Name drop.
It would be impossible to manufacture something like that, right?
Where's the counter? Come on, guys.
I don't know about that one. There's always a scientist that tries to play God, you know? Like I said, I'm more inclined to believe that theory. Doesn't mean I believe it.
Actually, that's a good question. Where does religion fit into all of this? Did the moment people see visions about their lives and none of it included, an afterlife, that was just like, I don't know about that one. There's always a scientist that tries to play God, Like I said, I'm more inclined to believe that theory. Doesn't mean I believe it. Interesting.
That's fair. I did hear about some crazy experiments in Switzerland.
Switzerland? Okay, sure.
Yeah, they're always up to something over there.
Are they?
I know they were obsessed with contacting another universe for a while.
Were they? Is this canon?
Did that ever go anywhere?
I don't think we were worthy of a response. Like Taylor joked about, this is probably just the darkest timeline. They take one look at what we have to put up with and run the other way.
Actually, that is an interesting premise. Not necessarily like with Switzerland. I can't remember if it is related to them or not, but I know that I think it's called the Fermi paradox is what it's in relation to. But it is basically the concept that we have been putting communications using various forms all the way out into space for the longest time now, trying to get a response from any other kind of intelligent life form that might be out there. And it is insanely interesting and insanely terrifying, the fact that there are only really two outcomes from the fact that we have not heard anything back yet. Outcome one is that there is no other intelligent life in our universe, or at least not that's within a range that we can communicate with. So that's not good. That means we haven't got any potential allies out there or any other cultures or people that we can learn from. Outcome two is that there is intelligent life out there, and they've received our communication, and they want nothing to do with us. Either because we're not advanced enough yet, or we're doing things in a way that they don't approve of. Whatever it might be, they don't want to talk to us. And I find that fascinating. And I might have my facts mixed up. That might not be the Fermi paradox, but it is. There is a scientific concept around that, which I find really, really interesting. Yeah, it could be that they're not on the same technological level, but that would put them into the category of they're not at the level of intelligent life where they're able to communicate. So it kind of puts them more into category one. There is no life to communicate with at this point in time. So yeah, I find that fascinating. But tell you what, the day that we do hear back from some other kind of intelligent life, the world as we know it would completely change. Anyway, tangential. I said, don't think we're worthy of a response. Like Taylor joked about, this is probably the darkest timeline. They take one look at what we have to put up with, and they run the other way.
That's so depressing.
I have a cure for that.
Is it another drink? Taylor holds up a bottle of booze, implying it's time to drink more.
Besides, it's a
Drink
waste
it
of
all.
time to focus on questions that have no answer. Like, why do scissors come in packages that require scissors to open? Like, I'm buying a pair. That obviously means that I don't have one to use.
Very real problem.
Why don't you just use a kitchen knife to open it?
Very real solution.
What?
We have 10 knives in the kitchen drawer. You do know you don't need to use scissors, right?
But there's a little picture of scissors next to the dotted line.
Okay, I love that. That's a great interaction. Everyone stares at Taylor.
Is it okay if I just start drinking again? I mean, we're here to have fun, not rip into Taylor.
Those two things aren't mutually exclusive.
You know what? You're right. But I do appreciate talking about more real issues. Even if we'll never know the truth, it's still healthy to talk about.
Ty, it's less about just the knowledge of aliens existing, but more the fact that we will be able to open lines of communication with them and begin to share knowledge, share ideas, learn about their culture, their technology. It's what that opens in terms of a door, rather than necessarily about the communication itself.
Hey, I'll drink to that one. It can't be all fun and games, even if we want it to be. Honestly, this is one of the best nights I've ever had.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that.
You must not have much freedom when you're on tour.
No, they don't. They really don't.
Nah. I'm always at arm's length for one person or another. But I told them I wanted to be left alone while I'm on this hiatus. At least it'll give me the chance to prove that I can care for myself.
That's fair.
And even if you couldn't, we'd be there for you. How about we grab some bottles and head back to my place?
Sounds good to me. Just remember what I said about taking the back door.
Didn't know
The
you
back
guys
door.
had that kind of relationship.
There we go. Taylor's in on that one.
He meant the nightclub, you absolute idiot.
Taylor smirks without saying another word. A moment later, we all scurry toward the bar. I grab a few bottles of whatever stands out to me. Like a kid in a candy store is a pretty apt expression. Especially for Taylor, who seems overwhelmed by the possibilities. He keeps taking a bottle, putting it back, and then taking another one. We didn't leave him behind. We waited for him to choose before leaving. Free was certainly the best price of all. Dun dun dun! And speaking of freedom, here's the corporation weighing down upon you, controlling every aspect of your life. Alright, I think we're wrapping up this scene now, though. It's now Saturday, December 21st. We scurry down the streets, carrying more alcohol than we could ever drink. But it was all paid for, so there was no point in letting it go to waste. Actually, we'd be entirely stocked up for our New Year's Eve party.
Damn, they're really watching us, huh? Kinda embarrassing. They're gonna think we're alcoholics.
Well, if you're not, you sure fooled me.
I looked at the other side of the street. People watch from a distance. The flash of their cameras is annoying, but not too overwhelming. Clace was right. They won't approach us due to the system.
How do you operate under this much pressure, Clace? There's so many eyes on me, I can't help but feel violated.
You get used to it. The number one thing is remembering
true.
that they like you. They watch out of respect and admiration, not to judge.
It's the same kind of feeling if you ever have to get up on stage and, give a speech or presentation in front of hundreds of people. It's a weird feeling having that many eyes on you, but it is one that becomes more comfortable over time.
Typically, I'd assume you're right, but I imagine you don't walk down the street like this too often. I mean, we look like we just robbed a dozen liquor stores.
You'd have more booze than that if you robbed a dozen.
We kinda did. I was just joking about buying it out.
What?
Huh? Uh-oh.
I tried to make a joke.
Dude, don't do that. You almost gave me a heart attack.
You got me on that one.
Nah, I'd never do that. It'd be way too boring without you.
I keep looking at the other side of the street. The crowd grows. Isaac was right after all. We definitely got some attention. Thankfully, I made sure to dress nice and act confident.
Really? Good to know I made a nice first.
Before he can finish, we hear a bottle of booze hit the ground. It shatters, and I feel some drops splash against my ankles. We turn around, and Dante stares at us. Clearly his fault.
We will never mention this again.
The crowd that was watching us laughs like a studio audience. It's so weird, like they can't cross the divide between us. The system is keeping us apart, despite our desires.
I'd agree, but I know you'll just end up dropping more. You're next level clumsy, and now it's embarrassing me.
Nothing wrong with getting embarrassed. It'll help keep your ego in check.
Me? Ego?
It's undeniable.
Got the biggest ego here out of everyone, mate. Dante struggles to rearrange the bottles in his hands. We stand by and wait for him, but we don't clean up the glass. One of the automated drones would be by to fix it in minutes, for sure.
Hey, you need some help?
Ooh, hello. I was wondering if you'd stop by again. We're all shocked to attention and look at the other side of the road. Someone walks over, but it's not just anybody. We know this guy.
Figured they weren't gonna jump in and lend a hand. Looks like they're scared of getting in trouble. Well, intimidated even.
The sexy saxophone has returned.
Intimidated? Why?
Because of the saxophone that follows you everywhere. It's like you got your own theme song that follows you from room to room.
No idea. Just the messenger. But I saw a friend in need and ran to help. Guess the system doesn't like good Samaritans.
Well, it's not that. Our friend here is kind of famous, so they want pictures. The system is actually protecting us from a stampede.
Oh, famous? Really? Been here for a day and I'm already making connections? I'd be super jealous back at home, if we cared about that kind of stuff.
He kneels down beside the broken glass. Running a couple of fingers through the pool of booze, he then tastes it. Yeah, sorry, I'm gonna have to try and read, the lines relating to him in, the kind of, sexy narration style. We all look at each other.
confused and a bit concerned about health risks.
Oh, you drink this stuff?
Yeah.
Tastes disgusting.
I mean, that was kind of gross. You just licked it off the pavement.
Yeah, but it makes us happy.
Is this Argus's doing? Make you happy with drinks so you don't fight back?
No, that's just alcohol.
What?
Just some food for thought. Or drinks for thought, I guess. Here, let me have some of that.
He motions toward Dante and holds out a hand.
Dante looks at all of us confused before giving Zero some bottles.
Carrying them with relative ease, he shrugs, unsure of what to do next.
Where are we going?
Home.
Well, I don't want to intrude on anything. I'll just help you carry your bottles and then go on my way. Let's call it even for the food you've been giving me.
What do you mean been giving you? We gave you 1 apple.
Sounds fair.
Are you sure we won't get in trouble?
No. It doesn't matter anyway. Look at all the people taking photos of us. Any chance that we wouldn't get caught is long gone.
Is it actually a crime to talk to a Zero?
Well, it's a crime for them to sneak into the city. I imagine it's against the rules by association. If we get docked points, let's just contest it.
Fair.
The system really keeps you all apart, huh?
He tilts his head to the people on the other side of the street.
Looks like both sides are worried about their score. Common sense tells me you could coexist just fine.
Common sense. Not a lot of city folk have that. But thanks for the help.
Well, you could show your appreciation by actually talking to me. Every person I meet, it's always score this and points that. I don't care about those. Let me make that crystal clear.
Oh, don't worry, buddy. It's pretty clear. We've got that bit figured out.
Well, you could tell us about yourself. We have a bit of a walk ahead of us. At least an hour.
I want to hear about the famous dude first. What did he do? Suck up to Argus the most?
Wow, this guy's pretty blunt. I like it.
Hey.
Not really. My score is terrible. But I like to sing and dance, and people like to listen and watch. I'm on a break now, but I usually just travel the world and perform.
That sounds stressful.
You have no idea. I'd suggest easing up on the Argus hate, though. There's no need to draw attention to yourself.
Yeah. You want to fit in as much as possible.
It's hard to do that when I can't enter any buildings. I'm supposed to have a phone with a special chip in it. I don't even have any money. How am I supposed to fit in?
Fair points. I like this character.
Aren't you here with your friends to fight that, though? You know, so you can have access and stuff?
No, they're here to fight it. I'm here to see the sights and learn about this city. There's a lot less green around here. It's super depressing.
I hear that. I, for one, definitely feel the absence of like green spaces and parks and things in the city. More and more these days, you see those areas being torn up and turned into space for new shopping centers, apartment complexes, things like that. It is such a shame to see that unless they're like major important protected parks and spaces that have been there for a long time, your casual everyday neighborhood park is kind of up for grabs to be commercialized at some point in the future. That is pretty sad. It's a sad reality. Suddenly I remember the pamphlets that I was shown earlier today. This might be a good time to get some more information from Zero. Something told me we wouldn't make a habit of hanging out. Oh great, you had a green space added recently. Honestly, that's a huge win. Unfortunately, like again, I think it depends on where in the world you are, but I often see more of them being taken away than added in. Depends on where you live. If you're seeing more being added in, good. Support the people that make those decisions. That's what we need to do. I decided to ask him in an effort to make productive conversation. The perspective of an outsider is always good. It challenges your views. He seems to dislike Argus, but does he really believe the things I read?
Pamphlets? Wait, which ones are you talking about?
I let him know what I heard. They believe that Argus is responsible for Komorebi. Name drop. And not only that, but they believe Komorebi, name drop, disproves free will.
That's ridiculous. Argus must have planted those to make us look bad. We did bring some reading material, but not as stupid as that.
What did you bring exactly?
You know, just stuff about the impending land crisis. We grow in numbers while your cities grow in size. Less food and more people. A pretty bad combination.
It absolutely is.
I didn't know it was so severe.
It's definitely going down that route, yeah. But it's best to take care of it before it becomes a problem, you know? We just have foresight. Figured you'd all be used to that by now.
Yeah, good point.
Though I guess everyone focuses on potential futures. Kinda stupid when there's a real one right in front of your noses. One look at a zero colony and you'd be on my side, I guarantee it.
Huh. I see. Well, thanks for helping. And I hope you enjoy your time in the city.
Isaac is super awkward about this.
Of course. It's nice to have a change of pace. And if you want to help in return, just tell people we aren't that bad. If they believe Argus that much, we'll have no chance. Especially if they're starting to fall for those fake pamphlets. Whoever made them, it's clearly just an attempt to undermine.
Honestly, that's the best way to
Media's
ruin
in on
somebody. Attack their credibility until it doesn't even matter if they speak the truth. Remove our willingness to hear so we don't care what you have to say.
And there we're getting a little bit of the 1984 in it. You would get there eventually.
Exactly. But like I said, it feels like a losing battle. Maybe you should share some of that happy juice with me.
He lets out a soft laugh. Sorry.
He lets out a soft laugh, and we're uncertain if he's serious or not.
But since we've been walking the entire time, we're lost in the crowd. The return to privacy and anonymity was a welcome one, to say the least.
How much farther is it?
Oh, still like another 45 minutes of walking. Come on.
Maybe 5 more minutes?
Sorry, I meant 4 to 5 minutes, not 45 minutes. You misheard me. It's fine.
All right. This is turning into quite the workout. I'm thankful that I got to make some new friends, though.
Likewise. And you're moving in with Isaac, right? Guess I'll have to come and visit more often.
Yeah, you can come visit, but you're not moving in.
Oh, that'd be awesome. But I can come to your place for that stream we talked about. I think a lot of people would be interested in watching it.
You're telling me. Just be warned that I say a lot of stupid stuff. You
really
kind
do.
of have to turn off your filter to fill dead air.
I watch you all the time. Trust me, I know. Let's settle on a date and time, and I'll get them to make a press release. The more hype we can build leading up to it, the better. Sound good?
Sounds like Clace is really helping out our friend here.
More than good.
I never watched Taylor, but this has me interested.
Yeah, you never watch. You just leech off of my viewers.
It's a good life.
Yeah, I think Dante's doing the right thing here. We laugh as we continue to walk home. Zero's rather quiet, though. He's probably just not sure where he fits in, but we still appreciate the help. By the time we make it back home, he barely says another word.
Because he's plotting our eventual demise.
Oh, that noise. They could have picked something far more upbeat for that. Alright. We're going to keep pressing on, because I'm assuming it's going to take us back to a menu at some point when we finish this scenario. When we get there, that's where we're going to be ending the stream. Just giving you guys a heads up. When we enter, Zero stays outside. He rests the booze he carried on the ground, and we move it inside. It takes a couple of trips outside to transport it, but we eventually get the job done.
Hey, it doesn't look like he's leaving.
Taylor peeks through the window. That is the wrong peak. Come on, proofread your work. P-E-E-K-S. Wrong peak. It's a bit odd on both Taylor and the Zero's part.
Well,
That is a little
that's
odd.
a little odd. I'll go talk to him for a few minutes. You can all relax. I won't be gone long.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get the cops in here, Sander. Come on, we won't stand for these minor spelling mistakes. Should know better than that.
Sounds good to me.
To be fair, there's probably been a handful that I completely glossed over and missed earlier, and that's just the first one that I actually noticed.
Yeah, I'm getting pretty sleepy over here.
Fair enough. I'll try to hurry. You should mingle for a bit. There's no more prying eyes around. I'll show you your room as soon as I get back.
I'll start the timer.
As Isaac steps outside, the rest of us gather together. We sit down on the couch in unison and let out loud sighs.
I'm getting old.
Getting?
Funny.
Dude, you're 23. You're not old, you're just dramatic.
Good shout.
Speaking of dramatic, you sure know how to draw a crowd, Clays. I was worried they'd cave and start swarming us.
Nah, they usually behave. Even without the system, I'm sure they'd still respect me. The relationship I have with my fans is certainly, unique.
Why is your relationship with the fans unique? Are there no other celebrities in this world that have the same kind of relationship, or are you just comparing the relationship you have with your fans and so therefore with the public compared to anyone else's relationship with the public? Interesting. The naive melody. Greetings, mortals. 'Tis I, the world's greatest human, give or take 1,000. Welcome, naive melody. How you doing today? Thanks for stopping by.
Sure seems that way. Watching them stare at us felt so surreal. Hopefully it doesn't happen again.
Oh, it will, and there'll be nothing you can do about it.
Well, even if it does, you get used to it. But I'd be down to go somewhere more private next weekend. And it might be a good idea to avoid that Zero if we can.
No, we should spend more time with the Zero. They're onto something.
Why not hit up the Wayfarer? It's pretty dead in there, and I love the Atmo.
What's that?
A pub, and a pretty good one. Cheap drinks, and they don't mind pouring extra.
That sounds like more like my kind of place.
Sounds good to me. Honestly, a nightclub may not have been the best first choice. I hope you can forgive me for what happened after we left.
Don't worry about it, Clays. And I heard you suggest the Wayfarer? Whew, I'm so down. After tonight, I could definitely use a more relaxed outing.
Okay, welcome back. Looks like Isaac's back and kept his word of not being gone for long. He sits down on the couch with the rest of us and yawns.
I'm just going to die here now. I think I've used up my social energy. It's all over for me.
You still have to show me to my room.
All over.
Yeah, I'm sure you can find it. It's the one that's not occupied, right?
I can show you if you'd like. We cleaned that room together, and now I know why. But I'm curious, where's all your luggage at?
Oh, someone's gonna bring it over tomorrow. They'll take care of everything, so don't worry. Are we just gonna let Isaac pass out there?
Yes. Yes, we are.
No way! This is my couch. Even if I have to carry him to his room.
So romantic. Why not just take his bed?
Nice one, Dante. I like that.
I'll never do that again. Oh, my back is still recovering.
Wait, you've slept in his bed before?
Upon hearing that, Isaac immediately jumps out of his seat.
All right, it's time. If you're showing
Whoa.
Clays to his room, I'll stick with Delta. There's something I wanted to talk about anyways.
Works for me. Then Taylor gets the couch. And just to set this in stone, we're going to the Wayfarer next weekend?
Sounds good to me. Does Friday work for all of you?
Friday is not the weekend, but okay.
Yep, I'm wide open. Also, I'll make us all breakfast. I assume your kitchen is fully stocked?
With all the essentials, yeah. But you don't have to do that.
Of course I don't. I'm just choosing to. This all means a lot to me, so I want to help out. It was great to finally meet you too. Well, all of you.
That's sweet. He looks at me and gives me a soft smile.
I guess that's our cue. See you all in the morning?
Sure thing. Taylor, if you need more blankets or anything...
We glance over at Taylor and he's fast asleep on the couch. I guess he wasn't exaggerating when he said how tired he was. As much as I wanted this night to last forever, it was time to sleep. The naive melody, you're curious, which of these characters is the fourth wall-breaking, evil, self-aware AA program? We're not sure yet. It could be any of them, to be honest, and they're just keeping it really under wraps. Yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. We do, however, have one of the characters being a self-insert of the dev, so who knows where that's going to go.
Oh, guess we have to keep it down now. He gets really angry if he loses his beauty sleep. Come on, Delta. Let's go somewhere more private.
Somewhere more private, you say? Ooh. I nod and start to walk toward my room. I'm not sure what he wants to talk about, but it can't be anything bad. probably related to the night he planned. I enjoyed it and stuff like that. Every damn time. Jesus. Graeldon was my love interest so far in the game. I'm not 100% sure. Isaac's the safe choice, but otherwise not sure. As soon as we get to my room, I sit down on the bed. Isaac follows suit, sitting down beside me, but also keeping his distance. He adds a sense of familiarity to this otherwise bland and lifeless room. I didn't have enough space to bring everything with me. A lot of stuff, like my computer and bed, had to stay behind. But I guess it's not a fresh start if you don't shed a little bit.
So, did you have fun? What did you think of the plans I made?
Alright guys, time for a choice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 1 at the top, number 5 at the bottom. First choice, it was amazing. Everything I could have asked for. Very positive. Like it. Playing the cards close to the chest. Number 2, heart on the sleeve, obviously. They involved you, so they're pretty much perfect. Number 3, at least fly a little bit more by me next time. I was in the dark all week. Fourth one, I had fun, but I couldn't stop thinking about the people back at home. And fifth one, it was great. Next weekend should be just as fun too. So yeah, sorry, 2 of them are going to be slightly behind the text. So yeah, again, that third one was, at least fly a little bit more by me next time. I was in the dark all week. And the fourth one is, I had fun, but I couldn't stop thinking about the people back at home. Okay, Amra's voting for 2, Acor getting for 5, Sanigan for 5 as well. Theo wants to go for 1 or 2. Ice Fresdom, hi, going for number 5. Playing it safe, so you guys aren't feeling it so much with Isaac, is the sense that I'm getting. Graeldon going for the Tokomeki Memoria best friend tree. Yeah, I'll just be best friends with everyone. Perfect. No romantic relationships. We're just best friends. Best friends that share a bed. Yeah. Don't feel any one of them so far really. Yeah, fair. Yeah, 2 is very sappy. To be fair, if I was like very romantically involved with someone and knew they felt the same way, maybe I would use line number 2, but it's probably going to be more 1 or 5 for me personally. 5 for me feels a little too impersonable. I'd probably go for number 1. Hey, you have a hot rebel with a sax theme. GG Isaac, but you can't compete. You know what, Lucifer? I think that might be the right stance. We have found someone who has a literal sexy sax theme. That might be the kind of person we need to pursue. So I think it's a bit of a coin flip for me, but I think I am going to go for number 5. Like, I like Isaac, but there's just not a lot to his character. With the Zero, whose name we still don't know, we just know them as the Zero. Feel a little more, so we're going with number 5. I think he's going to be disappointed, but we're just going to have to live with that.
Yeah, totally. The Wayfarer is a really good place. The atmosphere is top-notch, the drinks are cheap, and it's never too busy. It'll be a great time. But I wouldn't be surprised if we run into that Zero again.
Excellent. Exactly what I'm hoping for. He rubs the back of his head a little bit, like he's nervous.
I hope we don't get docked too many points for what happened tonight. Community service wasn't how I planned to spend the rest of my year. We didn't even do anything wrong, so why do I feel so guilty?
Why do you feel so guilty, Isaac? What are you hung up on? Shaking his head, he lets out a dramatic sigh.
Oh, everyone keeps inheriting such flawed ideals these days. Our minds are sewn shut before we even have the chance to open them. Makes us scared of change. Scared of things that are good.
Okay. Isaac's a little more open-minded.
The world was never reinvented by people who thought inside the box, Delta, But try as hard as I can, the envelope always pushes back. Rules, guidelines, scores, they just foil progress.
I nod, unsure of where he's going with this. But I imagine that his score means more to him than others. He works for Argus, after all, the people who govern everything. Getting on their bad side would probably cause endless worry. Yet, here he sits, with a look of realization on his face rather than fear. Like the look of a man who just realized what needed to be done.
I think we'll need to have a proper conversation about all that nonsense. Especially with everything that's been going on the last few days. That Zero seems to like us, but I can't blame him.
Acor, he's the first one that gets taken out of the way from Argus. Jeez. Oh, no. Isaac's going to the farm upstate. We won't see him again for a while. Awkward. He gives me a thumbs up and a wide smirk.
We're just the coolest.
We both laugh, and then he inches a little bit closer.
For real, though, people get in trouble for this kind of thing. But if we do, I want to fight it. And I want your help to do that, too. Talking to a Zero shouldn't have to damage our lives.
Got to agree with him here. I agree. He approached us, and the interaction was harmless. As long as no harm was done, I don't think we should get in trouble. Of course, letting one thing slide can easily turn into an avalanche.
In fact, I'm willing to fight for a world where no one cares about that stuff. And if Argus just uses that to make an example out of me, well, at least I tried. Everyone else just accepts their punishment without asking questions.
So where could this be going? Isaac seems to be the one who's in the know with Argus and is comfortable with technologies, has the ability to push things forward. The other supporting characters are potentially the ones who's going to be pushing forward the message through the different means in media. Because we've got one who is an artist being able to, convey meaning and messages through song. We've got a live streamer who's in with the common people and can communicate things that way. And then we have an author, a novelist, a book writer who will be able to work their themes into the literature and the works that they produce in order to start changing the mindset of the people in society. I wonder if that's the route that the plot's going to be taking here. Isaac pushing it from a technological perspective, and the other three pushing it from influencing through the media. What do you guys think? I think it's a hunch. It's the direction that they might be taking the plot in. It's true, people can easily become blind to the status quo. Jump through enough hoops and eventually you'll just get used to it. That's what Argus did. Taught us all to jump without asking why.
Anyway, I'd hate to end this night on a sour note. I'm just drunk venting, and there's no need to do that right now. I came in here to thank you for tonight, and let you know that I'm here. I know things are getting off to a great start, but I'm still here. If you're ever lonely, scared, or thinking of home, just let me know. I haven't been this motivated in years, and it's all thanks to your arrival.
He places his hands in mine.
I've got your back. I guess I just want to make that clear. At the end of the day, this give and take is all we really have. But you know what? It's all we really need. Someone there to help us when things go bad. Someone to direct us when we start feeling lost.
Just need somebody to lean on.
I'm trying to buy time now since I'm super nervous. But I guess this is one of those things that I just need to get over with. Especially now that the booze has shot my confidence sky high.
Without another word, leans forward and kisses me on the cheek. When he pulls back, his face is bright red. I've never seen him like this before. It's not a bad thing, though. I squeeze his hands with a smile before letting go.
Enjoy your new life, Delta. And here's to a better tomorrow.
That was brave of him. Well done, Isaac. He leaves the room, happier than he'd been all night. It must have been a relief that things went off mostly without a hitch. I plug in my phone, then lay in bed and stare up at the ceiling. It's almost been a week, but this still doesn't feel like my bed. I wonder when that will change and what might spark that change. Sharing it with somebody else, perhaps? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more, say no more. The fact that we can make anywhere feel like home is rather peculiar. It just might take some more time. My eyelids feel heavy and I soon succumb to fatigue. The very same fatigue that I fought off in Isaac's car when I first arrived. But I feel like this time I can let it get the better of me. I deserve it after all. I sleep, despite my worry that the tomorrow I greet may not be better. Because vision or not, we were all united in our fear of what would happen next. And then... I was waiting for the sound of... And then they were hungover. Bwom! As soon as I wake up, I saunter over to the living room. I say saunter since I'm not sure if there's a word for hangover walk. It's called stumble. My slow, laboured strides carry me toward the promise of a hot breakfast. But when I make it to my destination, I'm immediately let down. There's nobody in the kitchen, and Clace is half asleep on the living room couch. I'm about to call out his name, but Isaac beats me to it, entering behind me.
Hey, Clace. You forgetting something?
He moves slightly and speaks nonsense. It's like he's caught halfway between dream and reality.
Dude, get up!
Suddenly, Clace jumps out of the couch, adjusts his scarf, and looks embarrassed. Apparently, he never takes the scarf off. I'd be worried about, like, accidentally choking myself in my sleep if I wore a scarf to bed. Like, that just seems like a terrible idea. But then again, he's fast asleep on the couch, despite the fact that he has his own room. So, if he's out here, where's Taylor? Because Taylor was asleep on the couch before. I suppose I'd be embarrassed too if I promised everyone a meal and messed up. But I'm sure we can still eat, even if it's just a bit later than initially planned.
Sorry. Just the hangover. I didn't expect the party so hard last night.
Come on, not so loud. I've got a hangover.
Oh, it wasn't that bad. You're just a lightweight.
Depends on how you're wearing the scarf, Acor. Like, if you actually have it draped around properly and you roll over and you're sleeping the wrong way, you could, like, lean on it and then pull and, yeah, you could potentially choke yourself. At least in my head. But I just don't feel comfortable wearing anything that's tight around the neck when I'm sleeping. It's just, yeah, no, gives me the heebie-jeebies.
You rang?
Taylor walks in the room looking like a zombie. It seems like the night hit some of us harder than others.
Can't imagine partying like that too often. Maybe one day I'll be on your level.
I've been saying that for years, but you just can't beat Isaac and Taylor.
Dante enters the room, cup of coffee in hand. I swear that thing is glued to him come morning time.
Good to know I party harder than a pop star. I always knew I was special, but this just seals it.
That, and you don't let us down when you promise a hot breakfast. Sorry, Clace, but you're not gonna live this one down anytime soon.
It was an honest mistake. I'll handle myself better at the tavern.
You were fine at the nightclub, definitely enjoyed our one-on-one time, or as long as that means we can still get some private time again. Wow, both of those are a little spicy, but I'm going with number one. We were fine at the nightclub, I definitely enjoyed our one-on-one time. His ears perk up and a bright blush appears on his face. We're just gonna flirt with everybody, but not commit. It's almost like until this exact second, he forgot about our heart-to-heart.
Oh no.
He covers his face with his hands. You're incredibly shy for someone that performs in front of an audience of, like, millions of people.
Oh no. Delta, forget everything I said. I was just drunk venting, I swear. I didn't even mean it.
You look legit terrified right now.
Ooh, gossip time.
I could go for some gossip.
Even Isaac leans in, curious about what happened.
You're all awful people.
He laughs as he gets up from the couch and stumbles slightly.
And that's why you fit right in.
Oh, come here. I gotcha.
Isaac wraps an arm around Clace and helps him stay upright. Maybe he's not just hungover. He could still be kinda drunk too.
Thanks, man. I'll get you back one day.
Yeah, if I ever need it. I'm not quite the shot taker you are.
We look at one another, trying to figure out what we should do. In his current state, Clace would certainly not be making us breakfast.
Wanna just hit up the Triple R?
You mean the hangover breakfast place?
I see you've already been told. That sound good to everyone else?
Yeah, fair enough.
Sounds good to me.
I nod. Going to the Triple R has almost become a regular occurrence for me now.
I, actually have something important to talk about. And just so you know, yes, it is related to that zero.
Oh man, I almost forgot.
I was expecting a few hits to my score when I woke up this morning. Gotta say, I'm pleasantly surprised. Looks like we're in the clear.
Okay. We all look at each other, then back at Isaac, as he wears a wide smirk. What did you do, Isaac? What strings did you pull?
What did you do?
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Dante. His smile simply widens even more. That just makes it creepy because it goes from a kind of grin to a
Let's wait until we're eating. Then I'll talk. Promise.
Yeah, there is a social credit system in this game, Naive Melody. That's where they're trying to behave themselves, and they bumped into a zero the previous day, someone who doesn't abide by the system. Associating with them can make you lose points on your own social score. Everything's run by the Argus Corporation, which is most definitely not a futuristic version of Apple. He reaches up and snaps a finger in an almost dramatic fashion.
Scene change.
There's the fourth wall break. There it is. Okay, Isaac, evil mastermind, in control of all the technology, including the game itself.
Wait, what? How did you do that?
Wait, are they playing with this? Wait, what's happening here?
Don't even worry about it. And look, breakfast is served.
We all look down to find full plates before us. Clace whimpers as he rests his head on the table.
Did you need to do that while I'm this hungover?
What just happened?
Almost definitely.
Everything is spinning enough already.
He shakes his head and attempts sitting upright.
And I don't even remember ordering this. How much is it gonna set me back?
Has there actually now been a fourth wall break, or are they just really leaning into the hangover side of things? He turns his head towards the sign at the back of the diner. After seeing the price, he groans, but so do the rest of us. It's more expensive than normal. They changed the price.
What? That's no fair. They should have told us.
And give us the chance to say no? Doesn't seem very lucrative to me.
Can someone please go back to the previous stream and just check to see if these prices for like the coffee, teas and things in the back are the same, or if they have actually changed them in the background? I'd be very curious to know. Do these prices actually match, or did they increase them for the background?
I guess the third R stands for robbery.
Or maybe Isaac's magic trick messed something up.
We all look at him, a little confused.
Magic trick? What do you mean?
Yeah, right. Very funny.
This time, instead of looking at Clace, we exchange glances with one another.
What's he talking about?
I haven't the foggiest. Anyway, Isaac, what's up?
We're all just gonna skim over this, okay.
Huh?
You said you wanted to talk to us about something zero related?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Ah,
It's
that
just
is sad
been a
time.
long night. Although, I did find a way to keep us out of trouble.
Really? How? Not gonna lie, I've been kinda worried.
Yeah, same. I've been checking my phone all morning. Figured it was only a matter of time before my score went down.
I bet you're all surprised that it hasn't changed, right?
What did you do, Isaac?
Actually, yeah. And now you're starting to worry me. You did something, didn't you, Isaac?
Absolutely. In fact, I worked so hard, I didn't get any sleep. And I did it all in the name of protecting my friends.
Yeah, but now that you have proven that you can do fourth wall breaks, I can't trust anything that you say.
And yourself, of course.
Mostly myself.
How altruistic.
Yeah, I'm basically a hero.
And you tell me to keep my ego in check.
Wait. In order to stave off my increasingly growing paranoia, you didn't make another one of your mods, did you?
Promise to let me explain before you freak out?
Yeah, alright, I'll hear you out. Come on, what do you got to say?
That's definitely a yes, Dante. Oh, we're gonna get locked up for real now.
Let's give him a chance to explain before I start screaming.
Wait, why are we screaming? And what do you mean another one of his mods?
Did Isaac not tell you?
You're starting to worry me here.
Oh boy.
He just likes to tinker with Argus tech. It's no big deal. That's why you won't be hearing any system notifications at home.
Yeah, that was one of the first things changed. Dog Dylan, the second coming. Do I want to know what happened to Dog Dylan the first? I'm a little bit concerned. But yeah, 1984 and Furries? Absolutely, that's what we got going on here. At least kind of 1984. At least not in terms of being ruled by a government, but we are being ruled by a overbearing corporation that's instilled a social credit system. But close enough.
No big deal. You bug
And
me about
yes,
it like
Furries.
every day. It's been a couple years already. We're not getting in trouble, man.
Clarification. Gay furries. There we go. Now we're on the same page.
True. Argus usually cracks down on that stuff right away. If you didn't get in trouble the first time, you probably won't at all.
I guess I'm just a ball of paranoia then.
It's a good description. Little furry ball of paranoia.
Likely.
Let's hear him out. I'm actually kind of curious what he did. Just please don't make us worry more than we already are. Every time you do something new, you just make us panic.
Look, that's not my fault, remember? I have a flawless track record. It's your trust in me that needs polishing.
So, even though you basically break the law, it's still our fault.
It's really weird, but because of that fourth wall break, I'm now in a position where it's like, I don't know if I trust Isaac anymore.
Good to know we're on the same page.
You better have a good explanation this time then.
Yeah, what have you done?
Oh, I do. This one's a game changer. Ready to
Tell
see
me.
the latest innovation from the House of Isaac?
Stop beating around the bush and tell me what you done, Isaac.
Only if you never say it like that again.
I'm gonna second that.
30. Okay, I was wondering, I'm like, what? 30? What is this? It's a reference to, oh no, like, 30ing the conversation. Gotcha.
Wow, you too, Delta?
I know, I'm shocked. I actually had some input into the conversation. It's wild. I haven't said anything in like 12 hours. We were doing so well. We said a single word and then we just shrug. We're going to keep streaming until we actually get kicked back to the main menu for whatever the second part of the game is. Because before we had like scenarios across the top and little things. I'm waiting till we get actually back to that. We'll see how long it goes.
I'm gonna need your help with this one, though. Remember when you came to visit me at work?
All right, we've got some choices. Feel free to pitch in what you think. Of course, if you ever need help again, just let me know. You mean our first date? How could I forget? Oh yeah, I still forgot to charge you for that delivery. Yeah, your bad memory threw off my whole day. I know I can save. I'll save when I'm ready. Let's see. Number one's kind of the safe option. I think that might be the way to go. Yeah. Yeah, everyone's voting one as well. Cool. Of course, if you ever need help again, just let me know.
Oh? Having secret meetings without us? Didn't realize you two were moving that fast.
Well, you didn't see what he did in the bedroom last night. Ooh, spicy.
Dante, come on. Now's not the time. I'm trying to tell you something important.
And we're all waiting to listen.
Right. Sorry. Sass is just my default.
Isaac shrugs and disregards what happened.
All right, so I've been making lots of big sales at work lately. However, earlier last week, I lost commission on a lot of them.
That has got to be painful.
It was, but there was a silver lining. A big one, too. Turns out the people that bought them were up to no good.
Like you.
This is the part that Delta can vouch for, by the way.
Yeah, he told me when he applied that discount to my identity. Like, I'm kind of glad that I'm getting to have some input, even though it's not actually giving me choices. It's just making me feel more engaged with my character. Technically, we've started dating Isaac, but it was under, like, the knowledge that we can date as many or as few people as we want. Kind of it.
Knew I could count on you. Anyway, I decided to look into it, and I found something big. The purchases were made by an anti-Argus organization.
Well, that is a little spicy.
I think I've seen them in the news lately. Weren't they called Cypher or something?
Yeah, exactly. They helped the Zeros sneak into the city. But that was only half of their plan. They, kinda slipped up.
What was the other half?
Yeah, what was the other half?
Hooking up the Zeros with phones and identities.
Oh.
You know, basically starting a revolution.
Okay, is that a bad thing?
What? You can do that?
Yeah, that's the fun thing about revolutions. You can start one at literally any point in time. That's how revolutions work. You just need enough people on your side. It really is French. Vive la révolution!
I'm pretty sure that's impossible.
Isaac leans forward, clearly invested in what he's about to say.
Actually, it's not impossible. There was just no reliable way to test it out. Remember, this is the first wave of Zeros to enter any city. Everything until now was just practice, with no action.
And how does this help us?
Good question.
Well, they had no way of knowing whether they'd fail or not. Sometimes you just don't know until you finally flick that switch. However, in slipping up, they left behind a perfect blueprint.
How do you know all of this? He takes a phone out of his pocket and places it on the table.
Isaac.
You didn't.
I did.
Did what? What am I missing here? He smiles as he slides the phone across the table towards Taylor and Dante.
I made this for our new friend.
Oh!
He should be able to live in the city just like the rest of us. So, as far as everything goes, we're totally off the hook.
He's managed to make a phone that's not connected to the system. Okay.
That sounds highly illegal.
Yeah, probably is.
Yeah, but it's not like we'll get caught. Though his new score did take a bit of a hit. You know, for pestering a public figure and stuff.
I find this exceptionally hard to believe. You found a way to cheat the system overnight?
And this is where the plot's gonna start getting a little spicier by the look of it.
Not really, no. That Cypher group put in years of work. They basically left behind a test that was 99% complete.
And we did the final 1%, and we're gonna take all the credit for it.
And you knew the final answers.
Bingo! So, I'm gonna give this to that Zero, and we can move on. We won't get in trouble for anything we've done. I guarantee it.
Yeah, it's not like this could possibly be traced back to you or something like that.
How can you possibly guarantee that?
I guess you'll just have to work on trusting me.
He always asks for the impossible.
You can break the fourth wall. I'm not trusting you.
I feel like we should have talked about this first. Maybe.
I couldn't just sit back and let you get in trouble. We hung out with that Zero and gave him city goods. At least now we don't have to worry about our scores.
Yeah, a ticking time bomb like this is way less stressful.
Don't think you thought that one through, Isaac.
Come on, I'm just trying to help.
You've just kick-started a revolution by accident.
Is this why you went back outside to talk to him last night?
Yeah, I already kinda made up my mind.
Suddenly, his drunken venting last night made a lot more sense.
Can you at least give me a more technical explanation? You don't have to explain it like we're children.
Sure. You almost done eating? He's supposed to meet us outside a few minutes from now.
Upon hearing that, we all start devouring our meals. Like Minecraft.
Oh, and just so you know, he has a name now.
You look a little too proud of that. What did you call him? Every time! It's like, he has a name. It is Lucifer. What have we done? What monster have you created, Isaac? After furiously eating our meals, we leave the diner. Dante wasted no time, getting back on topic almost exactly as we exit.
Well,
What?
aren't you going to tell us how you pulled this off?
Oh, right. Just didn't want to do it inside. Even if we're safe, it's still good to be cautious.
He looks around, ensuring that we have privacy. The streets are relatively empty today, so I think we're good.
Well, Cypher was actually
His
pretty
name is
successful. They just slipped up in the end. They had no problem creating new identities to place on blank phones. Their logic was sound, and their internal testing went perfectly.
Yeah, cast your votes for what you think this Zero is going to be called. I'm going with Alpha, just because. I think that's going to be a great name for that character. It's going to be Alpha, or they're going to do some kind of play on words with Zero or something like that. We'll see. But yeah, I'm going to go with Alpha for now.
But things always change when you put plans into action. Once the phones connected to Argus's database, they triggered alarms. The phones were flawless, but the identities didn't have a match.
Okay. Once the phones connected to Argus's database, they triggered alarms. Phones were flawless. Okay, so they got the phone working correctly, but they didn't do the identity side. Interesting.
So it was just pushing past an extra layer of security.
Well, I think that's certainly downplaying my ability. And if you want to get technical, it was like 10,000 layers. The moment those phones connected to Argus, Cypher was compromised. But I got to see exactly how they lost and how to avoid it. It's something only a higher-up at Argus could accomplish.
Perfect. So when they're looking for someone to blame later on, guess where they're gonna look? Right at you.
You work retail.
Hey, I'm still pretty high up there. My security clearance goes a lot higher than you'd think. I even have right access to the pupil system.
Not sure what that is, but I'm guessing it's something to do with eye recognition.
Wait, seriously? I didn't know you were, like, successful.
I know what you're trying to say, so I won't take it as a shot. But yeah, that's why I'm aiming for that promotion next year. It'll actually put me closer to my true role inside of Argus.
There's a lot that you're not telling us.
So what, you can just create matching identities in the database?
Among other things, yeah. Remember, it's complicated. I'm trying to keep it easy so everyone understands.
It makes sense to me. But isn't that gonna look suspicious? I mean, a random guy just popping into existence last night?
I'm trying to keep it simple so everyone can understand, but also, if I try and get like too deep into a technical pseudoscience explanation, probably gonna get ourselves caught in a lie at some point, where the devs are like, don't actually know how to explain this, and if we tried to explain like the real technological aspects, someone would call us out on it. So it's safer just to not. Which I respect.
Funny that you're the one to ask, Clays. Isn't your burner account basically the same thing?
Isaac is right. Clace technically has a second identity. It's for his safety and anonymity as a pop idol, but it's still similar.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's a good chat. That's what I was thinking as well. It's like we've actually seen evidence of this before with Clace. So it's nice narrative building that they're doing here.
So, it's definitely possible to create a new identity without issue. In fact, it's actually done every day, thanks to the VP system.
Now you're just throwing out random letters. VP? What are you talking about?
At that exact second, the Zero approaches us.
I didn't want to intrude, so I circled the block a few times. Then I came back and you were still talking, so I circled again. Honestly, this time I'm just showing up so I can ask you to stop.
He smirks at us.
So
Yeah,
I am
I
pretty
like it.
curious about this pupil and VP thing. You said I'd be the first Zero in history to do all this, right?
Yeah, so you better not blow this.
Maybe keep that part down.
Oh, sorry. Forgot that was kind of a no-no word around here. Though I gotta say, I am grateful for the opportunity, Isaac. And don't think I forgot about the rest of you either.
He looks at me and gives me another smirk.
Glad to see they let the cool one tag along.
I'll take that. Isaac scoffs.
Hey, I'm totally cool! Especially after what I did for you!
Alright, prove it then. Tell me about this pupil and VP stuff.
Isaac looks around and it seems like more people are outside now.
Maybe we should take this somewhere more private?
Yeah, good idea. I don't think we should bring him home, though. We should wait until we're really feeling safe.
So where we're gonna go then?
Don't worry, I have an idea.
Oh, yeah?
My talent agency has a branch in almost every major city. There's lots of air travel, especially when an idol's on tour. There should be a small airfield nearby we can make use of.
Sorry, what? An airfield? We're just going to an airfield.
Airfield? Isn't that a little extra?
Well, if you want to make it as an idol, you have to be a little extra. Besides, those private jets are super secure. I hide in them all the time.
Hide? From what?
From the fans.
Just stupid stuff. You know, like
Oh, yeah, no, fair.
responsibilities.
And you keep becoming more and more relatable. I'm down, though. Hanging in a private jet sounds pretty awesome.
I like the sound of that, actually. And Clace's entry scan won't tip anybody off either. Especially if he hides in those things as often as he says.
And you'll tell me more about all this technical stuff?
Okay, sounds like we've got a plan.
Yeah, in style, too.
Guess I picked the right people to bug that day, then. Whatever you say goes, Isaac. I'm totally in your debt.
Good lord. Every time. Boom. Okay. Don't think we're going to be going into another choice selection bit anytime soon. I was thinking that we would have got there ages ago. I think we might have to end it here. Alright. Let's throw down to save. Alright. So because it's gone on longer than I thought it would. But this is still interesting. Alright, let's switch back. Pull that down, and we'll pop some music back on. I might just need to drop that down a little bit, because that'll be louder than you expect. Alright. Hope you guys have been enjoying that one. Definitely getting a little bit further in with the story now. Going in directions that I was not expecting. Alright, so I think we are going to need to continue the game, but I'm just going to have a quick peek in the background first. Can I get a sense of how much more game there is to go? That's the question. Let's see. We're up to there. Because we've done Fragment Map 1. We're kind of like doing the ending part of it. There is a Fragment Map 2. There's a Fragment Map 3. And there is a Fragment Map 4. Oh no. There is a lot more. Okay, so there are 4 Fragment Maps. So we're only 25% of the way through this. Interesting. We're not as far through it as I thought we would be. There's open world exploration. Or are you making that up? I feel like there can't be. Oh my goodness. I'm actually getting invested in this. It's an interesting story. It's going in directions that I wasn't expecting. So I think we're going to carry on with it. I was considering doing a vote on it or not, but honestly, I think we're just going to press on. I'm going to make a judgment call on it, and we are just going to continue. I know it's not going to be the most popular game out there, but that's fine. It doesn't have to be. I'm just enjoying hanging out with all of you and experiencing the story, because they're taking it in more interesting directions than I'll admit that I was expecting it would go in. Yeah, so I think we're almost done with like section 1, and then we'll be able to cruise through for the rest, and we'll enjoy it. It's sparking some interesting ideas and some interesting conversations, and there's a lot of games that fail to do that. So yeah, I hope you've been enjoying it as much as I have. We're going to end the stream here for today. we should be having our next review video come out in the next couple of days. We always aim for Sundays, but sometimes, you know, they need a little bit more work than others. We'll see how it goes. Naive Melody. Honestly, as we move forward, I suspect we're going to be getting far more gay furry conspiracies until this literally just becomes Steins Gate. Absolutely could be. Oh, Gray wants a panda update. Let me go have a quick look and see where she is. One moment. There we go. There we go. Panda is doing well, don't you worry. She's just been staying nice and warm, hanging out. Because it looks like it might actually snow here in the next couple of days. We'll get a little bit of late February snow. Videos 95% coming out tomorrow. Well, yeah, tomorrow is Sunday for us here. But yeah, we always aim for a Sunday release. Sometimes we make it, sometimes we don't. But the times that we don't is because we're like, okay, now we need to spend a bit more time polishing the videos. Always what we aim for. And to be honest, shout out to Ty while you're hanging out here. Can we just say quickly a nice thank you to Ty, because holy cow, your editing is getting better and better every time. Like, it's always been our goal, but honestly, I'm feeling like the editing that we're getting in each video, it steps up each time. So, absolute kudos to Ty, doing some amazing work on the videos. Doing an absolutely great job. Sander, am I going to finish this game before going back to Curse Crackers? Yeah, that's the plan. We'll probably work our way through Komorebi, finish that off, then we'll go back to Curse Crackers, finish that, and then we'll be able to do the next community vote for a game. So, that's the general plan for where we want to be. Okay. You're not looking too impressed. You're looking a little grumpy, aren't you? Yeah, I woke you up from a nap. You're a kitty. Let's let you go. Oh dear. No! Okay, like, I know you say no need for thanks, Ty. I know you're getting paid for it. Of course you're getting paid for it, but of course I'm still going to say thank you for the work that you do. It's only right. You're a massive part of this channel and you deserve the recognition that you get, mate. Alright, I am going to let you guys go. Thank you very much for hanging out today. It's been fun. I will see you next week, where we'll pick up where we left off in part 3 of Komorebi. And until then, take care, everyone. See you next time.